Did I stutter?
He has time, launches it to the end zone. Touchdown! Terrence Williams!
But they are who we thought they were, and we let them off the hook.
The 2011 winner of the Heisman Trophy is Robert Griffin III, RG3!
Welcome to Up Tempo on SicEm365 Radio.
Langoliers, base hit to center, and the Baylor Bears win their first Big 12 tournament championship.
Their fat little girlfriends are telling them what they want to hear, which is how great you are.
I'm a man. I'm 40.
Call us on the Impact Health Labs caller line at 254-339-1122.
Hello? You play to win the game.
Yep, just ready for OU.
You can't handle the truth.
Here's Drake Toll.
All right, happy Thursday, everybody. Drake Toll, JD Piquel, Armstrong Sims, the Blonde Boys Power Hour on Up Tempo today. Big day in college sports after a big night last night in college basketball. We are 2 days away. The countdown is on to Baylor men's basketball being right back. And guess who comes back with them but Kim Mulkey and the Lady Bears as well. Welcome in, everybody. I'm Drake Toll. That's JD Piquel, the Blonde Boys. JD, kahunas.
Yep.
The word of the day is kahunas.
Yep.
And I saw a guy last night in Mac McClung that's got a whole lot of them.
Mac McClung, arguably my favorite player that doesn't
have any affiliation with Baylor at all.
He almost did, though.
He was close. He was kind of were they in his top 8, whatever his top 10 was at the end of his recruiting
he was
transfer
like
deal.
it got really close.
Dude, he's so fun to watch. He's got ridiculous springs, and he can shoot the ball a little bit too, as we saw last night. And how about this post-game interview too, where he's like, "Yeah, I
gotta go." He's like, "I gotta go."
Teammate said I gotta go, so I'm out. He hits a huge shot to beat him in Austin. Enormous.
Holy
Absolutely
cow.
love it.
So
Absolutely love it.
he dribbles up and you think, okay, they're gonna call a timeout. Fran Fraschilla, who's one of the best in the business, is like, all right, they're calling a timeout right here. Get out of the way, call your timeout, hit your shot. Mac McClung's just dribbling, and then head coach Chris Beard is like, no, just hit it. Just hit it.
Absolutely frigid.
Bam. Got it. Mac McClung, walk off, 2.2 seconds on the clock.
Didn't matter how many fans would have been there because it would have been the same amount of noise after he hit the shot.
Silence.
Just a library. Could have studied for finals in there, man. I tell you what, it was absolutely silent night in there.
254-339-1122, the Impact Health Labs caller line. 254-339-1122 is also the Riverbend Liquor and Wine text line.
True story.
Reach out to the show, not my show.
Not my show.
Not Armstrong's show. He's shaking his head no. He's saying, no, it is not my show. It's not Armstrong's show. This is your show, powered by the fans. We got a caller online right here. Before we take it to that, though, hey, if you're on the Twitter right now and you're watching, we're on Twitter.
Yeah, we're on Twitter.
But you aren't all day. I know how it goes. I know how it goes. Click over to YouTube, go to your Roku, SicEm365, put it on your TV, watch it on your TV, put it on your Bluetooth, go to your Alexa, say, Alexa, if you say anything remotely close to Alexa, she's answering. Say, Alexa, play up tempo. She'll do it.
It'll do that?
She'll do it.
Oh, no way. I don't have an Alexa.
Alexa?
Alexa.
I don't think anybody
Alexa.
has an Alexa.
Alexa will literally do that.
Alaska's not out. Alexa will do that.
That's the next
She
one.
will.
That's
True
the next
story.
upgrade. All right, we got a caller online right here.
We got a live one. Let's do it.
We got Jeff, Baylor football, but I'm assuming maybe this is Baylor Bigfoot.
Jeff?
Is this Jeff?
Oh.
It is Baylor Bigfoot.
There we go. Talk to me, Hefe.
Hey, guys, Baylor Bigfoot. Don't be to the phone. First time caller, long time listener. Sponsored by Double R Burgers. Make sure you go to Double R Burgers and get the Bigfoot special. Tell them Bigfoot sent you.
Love it.
Hey, guys, I just want to talk about, Jeff Flood from Alabama, now at UT, is now number 3 on my haters list.
Should be number 1.
There we go.
Number 1.
Jr., he was going to stay at Alabama no matter what happened.
That's so dirty.
Bigfoot Jr. is now down to 126 schools for which he will play football. Texas and Alabama have now been eliminated.
Alabama,
You've been
too?
warned.
You've been warned.
On notice.
Yeah, so Baylor Bigfoot just broke the news. Kyle Flood is the new offensive coordinator, joining Steve Sarkisian in Texas. Not only is he the OC, but he's also the O-line coach. We're going to get to a little bit more of that later. Bigfoot, what else you got for us?
You ready for Bear games today?
Oh, we got a ton of Bear games today. It is round 2 of the Baylor second best bracket, kicking off this week with a big matchup between Shock Linwood and Bryce Hager.
Guys, it's tough. Both teammates of mine, both good friends. But I'm going to have to go with Bryce Hager.
Wow.
Interesting.
He changed the whole idea of defense at Baylor.
That right there is an early vouch for an upset, maybe with Bryce Hager, a 5 seed against Shock Linwood, a 1 seed. How about Lake Seastrunk or Seth Russell?
Guys, this is another good one. Both teammates of mine. But I'm going to have to go with Seth Russell. Lake had a couple good years, but Seth, if he stays healthy, is a Heisman Trophy winner.
Wow.
I think he's right.
Seth Russell's a 7 seed, Lake Seastrunk's a 3. That would be another big upset early on. And how about this, Baylor Bigfoot? If you could kick one team out of the Big 12, that's our question today across Twitter. Which team would you kick out of the Big 12?
It's really tough, guys. I like beating all the teams in the Big 12. But I'd probably have to go with Kansas because their basketball team cheats all the time.
True.
If they keep playing like they are in football, they might get kicked out anyway.
It
might be the Big
football.
11.
They may have to just like SMU.
That might just happen.
They will SMU death penalty their football program by choice.
Not because they cheated, because they were so bad.
By choice. All right, Baylor Bigfoot, tag out.
Appreciate you, Big Bear.
Tag out? What does that mean?
We need the double B's out.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Don't forget, double R burgers. Ask for the Bigfoot special and tell them all Bigfoot sent you. I am listen. Double B's out.
Love it.
Beautiful. Baylor Bigfoot on the line right there. Gosh, as always. Like we said, Bear games today. Shock Linwood, Bryce Hager, Lake Seastrunk, Seth Russell. We got Stephen from Virginia coming on the line as well. If you're out there watching, I know you're still scrolling through Twitter. And you saw up tempo, and you're like, "Oh, I'm gonna click on that for a second. I'm gonna see what's going on right there." And you're like, "Wow, they got one bear head.
Right.
There are two bear heads.
Dos.
You say that's not
los osos.
They said that's not normal.
Yeah.
They said that's not been there, and you're right. You would be correct in saying that. And I would say you can watch those two bear heads on YouTube. You don't have to do it on Twitter. Go to YouTube. Go to Alexa. Go to the SicEm365 app. Armstrong. How do the people do it?
We're on Roku.
How do they do it? We're on Roku.
How do they do
the app? How do you do the app thing?
You got to go to the App Store and download SicEm365 app.
What's it cost?
It's absolutely free.
You know what they say, Armstrong? They say that nothing in life is free.
But this is legitimately free. For the first time in the history of the world.
Hey, we're pioneers.
They are wrong. This is free. Stephen
Someone
from
had to
Virginia.
break ground.
You're on the line with Up Tempo.
Hey guys, I watched that Texas Tech game last night.
So good.
For the first amount of time, I got to be honest, I wasn't as impressed with Mac McClung as y'all were.
He had 22 points last night.
Well, wait, you got to hear me out. There were a couple of really bad shots he took, and he turned it around when he got blocked, but he faked like he got fouled, and he got 3 free throws out of it.
Savvy.
That really rattled Texas, and it made me feel like at that moment that even though he's not more than a 32% three-point shooter, and he's not more than a 43% shooter from the field, it made me feel like all of a sudden he owned this game. And so he turned around and absolutely stunned and went out there and, went out and played a Mamba mentality type game and beat Texas.
Rip.
And you know what? If Texas or Kansas lose games like that to Texas Tech or to other schools, Baylor can split with Kansas and feel reasonably good about winning the conference.
Oh, yeah.
So
if Baylor splits with Kansas and Baylor splits with Texas, you finish 16-2 in the and even West Virginia 15-3. I think 15-3 wins you the conference outright this year, as it should any year in the Big 12.
Where they finished last year.
What's that?
15-3 is where they finished last year, and it took a Herculean 17-1 by Kansas. But
True.
Kansas has already lost the game that they couldn't lose, and Texas has lost the game that they couldn't lose. So I feel a whole lot better about the Bears in control of the Big 12 as of right now.
Yeah, I think right now if we can get everybody healthy, I think we are still yet to see how much does COVID impact teams' momentum and how much does it impact the schedule as a whole for some of these teams.
True.
Absolutely.
All right, Stephen from Virginia. Bear games, Shock Linwood or Bryce Hager?
Shock Linwood.
Yep.
Shock Linwood.
All-time leading rusher at Baylor.
He reminds me of one very special cartoon character. Remember Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs?
Vaguely.
Flint Lockwood. That's like Shock Linwood is on par with Flint Lockwood.
I would have to watch that again to know exactly what you're talking about, but I think I get
Not
the
only was
spirit
the
of what
main
you're
character
saying.
in the first one, he was the main character in the second one as well. That's Flint.
Was there two? There was two Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs?
Yeah, that's Flint Lockwood.
No way.
Lake Seastrunk or Seth Russell?
I looked at the numbers on this really hard because I wanted to give Lake his due. I didn't just want to give it to Seth Russell because I wanted to. But Seth Russell in 2015 ran for 6 touchdowns, threw for 29 touchdowns, and only had 6 interceptions. He is almost scoring touchdowns at a rate of 7 touchdowns for every 1 turnover he has. He was ridiculous. He was amazing. He was a stud. 2016, he was a little off, but of what 2015 was, but he was a great player in the history of this program, and he deserves more due. So I'm going Seth Russell.
I think it's hard to give him his due just because his greatest season, the season that he was going to win the Heisman, they were going to win the national championship, he wasn't able to finish it. I think that's the part that's toughest when you think about Seth Russell. You think about what could he have been? What was the potential there that what Baylor could have been that season, what he could have done individually? And I think that kind of tarnishes his legacy a little bit. Maybe not tarnished, but I think it leaves a little bit of a weird taste in your mouth, does it not?
Well, I'll tell you that I think that actually works in his favor in a poll like this, where the fans of us are voting, because a lot of us, sit here and think that, when they were 6-0 in 2016 was really the last time, when the scandal was going on, at least for me, I looked at that as kind of like the last time they would be in that position. So I hold those 2015 and 2016 years really close, even though they didn't get all the way. And for the what might have been factor, I'll probably get Seth more props.
Interesting. People have spoken.
Yeah, right now, Seth Russell is on top, 69-31 over Lake Seastrunk on the polls. Seth already knocked off Cyril Richardson, which was highway robbery. He's about to do it again against
syndrome.
Lake Seastrunk. It is quarterback syndrome. But Stephen from Virginia, thanks for your call.
Hey, take it easy, guys.
Appreciate you, Steve.
All right. So my computer, like 6 minutes before the show, did a factory reset.
Clutch.
But it's back.
Let's go, baby.
But it's
We're back.
And now we've got...
And we're not leaving.
I'm not leaving.
I'm not freaking leaving.
I'm not leaving. We've got, how about Mac McClung last night? Going back to Mac McClung in Texas Tech. I don't know.
I thought he was on the phone. You're like, Mac McClung called in now to play some Bear games.
Mac, you are on with Up-Tempo. I wish.
Can you imagine?
I wish.
Can we make
today.
that happen? Let's talk to Texas Tech.
You know what I want to get? I want to get Zach Wilson.
Oh, yeah, that'd be awesome.
Let's get Zach Wilson up in here.
That'd be so
I was going to talk to you about that off the air, but I guess the fans at home should know that we're going to go. Look, for you and your sake, we're going after Zach Wilson.
The stakes just went.
We want to get you guys
here.
Zach Wilson.
I love it.
How about lineman of the year? Okay, Mac McClung, Texas Tech, Texas last night.
Psycho.
12-point lead for Texas. They were up by 10 at half, and it seemed like Texas was going to win yet again. They blew out Kansas earlier. Texas is they have been in my top 4 in the country. I still think they're a top 10 team. One loss is not going to change how good. Texas is a good basketball program. Yeah. But, man, they missed free throws. They turned the ball over. They weren't clutch when it really mattered. And guess who was?
Mac McClung.
Mac McClung.
Killer instinct, which Texas didn't have down the stretch. Anytime you're up by 12 and let a team back into the game. Oh, here it is. We have it here. McClung, body bag.
For the win.
And they're at home, too. I think that says a lot about a team when you can't close and you have a lead like that. Like, you start playing not to lose rather than playing to win and going for the jugular. And great teams, especially in March, go for the jugular, and Texas didn't do that. So Texas has some growing up to do in my eyes, but I agree with you. Still a top 10 team. They'll be a force in the Big 12.
You texted me last night and said Mac McClung is a psycho.
He is a psycho.
That's unbelievable.
That's a true story.
No timeout. Mac McClung takes the deep three. Did I say deep? I mean, he was close to the line, but it was deep when he started it.
Deep
just a couple
enough.
dribbles in and then just nails the sucker to beat Texas on the road, 72-70 yesterday. Texas Tech with a monumental upset win. How about Kansas losing at Oklahoma State?
We have that post-game interview if you want it.
Oh, the McClung?
Yeah, we love that.
Oh, yeah,
We
absolutely.
love
Let's roll this.
I live for
said,
this.
give it to Mac. What's that feeling like in terms of the confidence?
My teammates are telling me I got to go. I respect you a lot, Fran. You're the man. Okay. But I got to go celebrate my teammates.
Good job, man. You go celebrate.
Yes,
we
sir.
got you.
Yes, sir.
It would have taken him like 5 minutes to answer.
He just runs off.
It would have taken it would have been like 2 questions. It would be like, yeah, it was a great game. Texas was great. That was a big shot by me.
I honestly, though, if Grayson Allen would have done that or Sam Ehlinger, which maybe I just have a little bit of the bone to pick with both of them for the way they've handled themselves, then I'm probably like, guys, do the interview. But Mac McClung just seems so happy. He just gesticulates his way to the locker room right there to go see his team. And he's like, man, I love you, Fran. He did. He gave Fran his due, but was like, I got to go celebrate with my team.
Yeah, we just beat the number 4 team in the country in Austin. I got to go. I'm with you. I think there wasn't, I don't have any problem with that. It's just funny because it would have taken the same amount of time to just be like, yeah, big shot by me. Thanks so much.
Probably true. But also, he could have been at Baylor. That's what makes it. The thing is, though, if he comes to Baylor, then where does he play? Whose spot is he taking right now on the offensive end of the ball? Like Matthew Meyer coming off the bench is as good as he is, and Adam Flagler off the bench, and you've just got the depth you have. Jonathan Chachua, you go at least 8 deep with this Baylor squad.
Yeah.
So if Mac McClung, I'm leaving out LJ Cryer. If Mac McClung joins the program, he may be coming off the bench, and even then you're 9 deep because I want to see LJ Cryer still out there.
Yeah. I mean, beats me, but I mean, if that shows Mac McClung's awareness that, hey, if I want to go play in the NBA, which he does and he will, Texas Tech was the best spot for him.
Yeah.
And while as a fan, I wish he was at Baylor. Like I would love to go to the Farrell Center and see Mac McClung jump over people and hit big shots for us against Texas.
I would love to go to the Farrell Center, period.
Yeah.
I feel like it's just a distant, faraway wasteland
Right
with the
now
way
it
things
is.
have been with COVID. It's like I miss it. Armstrong?
Got a padlock.
I got breaking news here. We got Western Athletic Conference just announced they're adding several schools.
The WAC.
The WAC.
Okay.
We got Abilene Christian University is now part of the WAC.
So they're going D1 FBS.
We got Lamar University.
Wow.
Sam Houston State University.
No, to the WAC?
Southern Utah University. And Stephen F. Austin University all are now joining the WAC.
Okay.
That's insane.
That's huge.
So that's most of the Southland Conference. That means the Southland Conference is probably going to implode in the FCS.
Definitely.
And the mid-major. The WAC. Holy cow.
That's
I
big.
wonder if this is coming in ahead of maybe the WAC knows that some teams are going to leave the WAC.
Yeah, I mean, you wonder
And
if
so they're
COVID,
like, let's add some teams.
Yeah, I mean, you wonder all of the...
You'd have to, because you add,
the
what is that,
spring.
6 schools right there? Hold on,
Yeah.
this too. When do they join? There are, okay, so was that 6 you read off right there?
Yeah.
Lamar, Stephen F., Abilene, that's insane. So you got to think teams are dropping out.
That's huge.
Yeah, I would assume you have to think teams are dropping out of the WAC.
There are currently 9 members of the WAC. That is that with the addition? So here it is, current members. This also has Stephen F. Austin included. So the WAC has Cal Baptist, Chicago State, Dixie State, Grand Canyon, New Mexico State, Seattle, Tarleton, Texas Rio Grande Valley, Utah Valley University, Stephen F., Lamar, Sam Houston, Southern Utah, Abilene. I think that's more than 9. What?
Golly.
Color me confused.
Yeah, I'm
are there schools
honestly
in there
just
that
trying
don't?
to get my bearings and figure out.
Yeah, what's going on with the
exactly
WAC
what's
right
going
now?
on with
The WAC is what? The WAC is whack.
WAC is wacky.
The WAC is whack.
It's whacktacular right now.
I
mean, I love it. I mean, it's gonna be a domino effect too. Of see, okay, what other schools are gonna leave now?
Yeah,
what
because
else is gonna
now-
happen?
Yeah.
And what does that mean for?
This is going to start. I think this could start just a whole mess again.
Yeah.
Because the WAC
Complete
used to
conference
be
realignment.
Idaho, Boise State, Utah State, Nevada, San Jose State, Fresno State, New Mexico State, Louisiana Tech.
Which eventually a lot of that became Mountain West
Right.
and other conferences.
So now what? Does that mean that Sam Houston State is FBS? Are they moving to FBS? Do we have any wraps on that?
I don't know.
Tell you what, we're hitting a hard break. Let's see what we can figure it out.
They compete. They're very good every single year in the FCS.
My computer already did its hard reset, so I can Google it now. But breaking news, the WAC is adding half of the NCAA to their conference. We don't know who's leaving, but I'm not leaving.
I'm not leaving. I'm going to be here for a minute.
I'm not freaking leaving. I'm Drake Toll. That's JD Piquel. Speaking of minutes, Armstrong's minute. That's Armstrong Sims. We'll be right back after this break on Up Tempo.
It was another wild night in college basketball, spearheaded by Mac McClung and number 15 Texas Tech, who went on the road and used the late-game heroics to erase a 12-point deficit and beat 4th-ranked Texas 79-77.
Nope, he's going to play it out. I like it. On the road, McClung for the win. Oh my goodness! Mac McClung with 2.2 left.
Elsewhere in the nation, number 16 Louisville knocked off Wake Forest by 12 on the road. Number 18 Virginia beat Notre Dame 80-68 at home. Number 21 Ohio State beat Northwestern 81-71 in Columbus. And LSU jumped out to a historic 44-13 lead en route to beating Arkansas 92-76. In college football, Texas has solidified their offensive coordinator in Kyle Flood, who spent time as a head coach at Rutgers and was later an assistant with Sarkisian for the Atlanta Falcons and at Alabama. Flood will also serve as the team's offensive line coach, and Sarkisian is expected to remain the team's primary play caller. Alabama has also narrowed down a hire, as sources report that they are finalizing a deal to make former Houston, Texas head coach Bill O'Brien their offensive coordinator. I'm Armstrong Sims, and that's all the news that is news in college sports. This has been Armstrong's Minute on SicEm365 Radio's Up Tempo.
With your Ram truck from Allen Samuels, you may not have to plow through snow and mud or pull heavy loads, but you could. During the Big Finish year-end event, you get a Ram deal like no other. Employee pricing for all, 0% for 84, and no payments for 90 days. Ram 1500 Lone Star for Christmas. No other truck comes close. And ask about Big Finish pricing on Ram Heavy Duty and Ram ProMaster for your business. Happy holidays from Alan Samuels.
How did Edward Jones become one of the biggest financial service companies in the world? By not acting that way. Financial strategies, one-on-one advice, it's a big difference. And that's why Brad Wilson, your Edward Jones financial advisor, makes sense of investing. Experience the difference for yourself. Brad Wilson, 250 Sharon Drive in Woodway, 254-776-4337. Edward Jones, member SIPC.
At Ideal MRI, we feel blessed to be a part of the Waco community. We're a small family business right here in Central Texas, and our goal is to bring down the cost of health care while maintaining high quality. At times like this, the cost of health care has never been more important, and unfortunately, significant illnesses and injuries still occur. That's why Ideal MRI is open and here to serve you through the difficult time. We offer premium MRIs just like a hospital with state-of-the-art technology and specialists, but you'll pay less. Sometimes thousands of dollars less, whether you're using insurance or not. At Ideal MRI, we accept most insurance and there are no hidden costs, even offering financing if that's needed. Everything included in the price, and you'll not get something as a surprise in the mail later on. If you need an MRI, ask your doctor about Ideal MRI. They'll know. You can schedule an appointment safely from home online in minutes at idealmri.com or give us a call, 833-IDEAL-MRI, idealmri.com.
Texas Farm Bureau Insurance has protected fellow Texans with auto, home, health, and life insurance since 1952. With more than 260,000 square miles of land and 27 million people, that's a lot to cover. Whether you're wrangling cattle or wrangling kids, we're proud to protect Texans in all Texan ways of life.
Stop by and see our agents at one of our 3 McLennan County locations.
Coverage and discounts are subject to qualifications and policy terms and may vary by situation.
Waco Custom Marketplace is your home for holiday favorites for parties and the time with family. Various specials available in-store and online. A variety of steak gift boxes with 4 ribeyes for $70, 4 bacon wrap fillets for $55, or 4 New York strips for $50, and all come with steak butter. Fall snack box for watching a game or wrapping presents or hosting people at your house, including summer sausage, split horn, and jalapeno cheese, and salted crackers for only $35. 2 pieces of lobster tails with herb butter and 2 bacon wrap fillets for $60. Order online or call in advance to ensure availability, or drop by Waco Custom Marketplace at 425 Lake Air Drive. Waco Custom Marketplace has a full-service butcher shop for customized orders or cuts of your favorite steaks or beef tenderloin or specially ordered prime rib roast. Plus, what you want with pork, poultry, seafood, and more. Waco Custom Marketplace, 425 Lake Air Drive in Waco, or WacoCustomMarketplace.com.
Welcome back to Up Tempo on SicEm365 Radio. Call us on the Impact Health Labs caller line at 254-339-1122. For your company's mass COVID testing, log on to ImpactHealthLabs.com.
I want the truth! You can't handle the truth!
Now, back to the Bears Den with Drake Toll and Jamie Pickell for the Blonde Boys Power Hour.
All right, bringing it back into the Petty Clinic Low T Bears Den. So we just locked it down, working on a guest to come on and explain to us what is happening in college football, college athletics right now. 5 different teams have jumped ship from their respective conferences to join the Western Athletic Conference, the WAC. Mm-hmm. And as far as we now understand, the WAC imploded?
Yeah, 2012, 2013, teams were jumping ship. And now they're just making a resurgence, it looks like. And it's interesting to see they drew from Tarleton State, Dixie State, Southern Utah.
Back in the day when Mountain West had TCU and then lost them, basically the Mountain West pulled a bunch of the big teams from the WAC, apparently.
Okay.
And so then the WAC has kind of existed with a bunch of smaller teams that don't have football.
Right.
Since then, apparently, this is what I heard.
This has been the funniest commercial break. We broke for commercial. We're all like,
we were
what just
sprinting.
happened?
We all called people.
What is Drake jumps on
what
the
is the
phone
WAC?
with his person? I'm over here just utilizing Google.
JD called the president's cabinet and let them know it was like a fire drill inside of the studio just now.
That was hysterical.
Trying to figure out what the WAC is doing.
What is the WAC, honestly?
What a way to start,
the question.
What a way to start with
Breaking news today on the WAC is crack, says Gunny Hartman. I'll retweet it. I don't know if I can for legal reasons, but I will.
He's got a mouth on him.
Gunny does have a mouth on him.
I'm not sure what exactly is going on in the WAC today. I don't know if the WAC knows what's going on in the WAC.
Yeah.
Or here's the deal. Okay. Do we care?
Oh,
mildly.
I think I'll care probably for the rest of this segment.
I've got one mildly, and I've got one for the rest of this segment.
I think it's relevant right now. Once I leave, it won't be relevant.
I care because it's Sam Houston State and Stephen F. Austin.
And
those are relevant to Baylor.
And Tarleton.
And those are relevant to the state of Texas.
That also implodes the Southland Conference, which is also relevant to Texas. Sam Houston's good at they've got to be they're Division I in basketball, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is Tarleton are they Division I in basketball?
Ooh, I don't know that.
So has the WAC been Division I in basketball? If they have Tarleton,
I think it's more relevant for basketball than it is for football.
I think
at this point. Apparently, according to a report, which I can neither confirm nor deny is true, 2022 there plans to be FBS eventually. It's going to start FCS. Again, that's all from what I've read during commercial break.
It's been a non-football conference for the past
and now we're
8 years.
expanding to football in the WAC.
Yeah, because you're adding teams with football.
Right. But kind of FCS. It's not FBS yet.
FBS 2022 allegedly. I don't know if 2022 is like for sure, but it says eventually they want to be 2022 eventually they want to be FBS. It might even be 2022 is when they get football as a conference together.
All right.
They might just be as a conference do their thing till 2022.
So we've got Dr. Brad Teague of the University of Central Arkansas. They are members of the Southland Conference. He's about to call into the show at 254-339-1122.
Yeah.
Let's go.
We pulled some strings. And so here's what we're going to do. We're going to hit a quick break. We're going to come back with him and hopefully have more information for you guys on the WAC.
Let's get wacky.
We'll be right back on Uptempo.
With so many companies and policies out there, it gets so confusing shopping for insurance, and I never know if I'm getting the policy that's right for me. Luckily, I met the team at the Niche Group Insurance Agency. With the Niche Group, you can go to one company and get access to coverage options from many insurance carriers, and you get to speak to a real person about your specific coverage needs. With the Niche Group, I know I'm getting the right coverage at the right price. If you need insurance, talk to the experts at the Niche Group at 1-800-258-8302.
It takes time to reach goals. It's a truth that applies to more than sports. It goes for your financial goals as well. You work hard for your money, and you deserve an investment strategy that lines up with your game plan. And Tom Albers, your Edward Jones financial advisor, can help. If your financial investments aren't putting forth the effort you desire, stop by today for a financial review. Tom Albers, 4301 Lakeshore Drive, 254-776-7605. Edward Jones, member SIPC.
Stepping into the boots of a U.S. Army officer can add confidence and leadership skills to your son or daughter's career path. See all the things they can achieve in our boots at GoArmy.com. U.S. Army Waco Recruiting Company, 254-598-8131 or 254-776-1543.
Born in Waco, Brotherwell Brewing exists to serve the Central Texas community with locally crafted beer of the highest quality. They want to bring Central Texas closer to the brewing experience so everyone can enjoy well-made beer as much as they do. For 2.5 years, they've been bringing high-quality beer to Central Texas at their location on Bridge Street in East Waco. And this football season, you need to stop by on game day for curbside pickup or stop by their tent next to SicEm365 at Brazos Parking for your pregame refreshment. Brotherwell Brewing believes in community and bringing people together to enjoy products made in their community. So for your game day, whether it's a tailgate or at home, stop by Brotherwell Brewing for high-quality craft beer made right here in Central Texas, 400 East Bridge Street, and check them out online at brotherwell.com.
Boozers is the wedding ring store and more. If you're ready to get engaged or already married and want to upgrade your wife's ring for a special anniversary, Boozers is the place to go. With the largest selection of premier quality diamond engagement rings and wedding rings in Central Texas. They have 7 cases with over 300 styles of rings from top designers like Natalie Kay. Choose from yellow, white, or rose gold, plus beautiful top quality loose diamonds. With an in-house jewelry, they can also custom make anything you want. Bring in a picture or drawing and let Boozers create your one-of-a-kind pendant or ring. They can even use some of your old gold and diamond jewelry to create something new. At Boozers, you'll find a great selection of quality timepieces, and Boozers is the place for expert watch maintenance and repairs too. They specialize in expert Rolex watch repair for fine jewelry, watches, custom work, and more. Go to Boozers on Valley Mills and Lake Air Drive in Waco.
Boozers, the wedding ring store and more.
Car has the trucks, man. They have the one for you. Crew cab, short or long bed, silver, black or blue. Texas size selection, great prices too. Richard Carr, he has the truck for you. Carr has the trucks, man. He has the truck you need. If you want the best truck, you want a GMC. Texas size selection, great prices too. Richard Carr, they have the truck for you.
Welcome back to Up Tempo on SicEm365 Radio.
Woo! It is a big day in college athletics. Mac McClung with the kahunas last night, nailing the shot to beat Texas. And we were going to talk about the new Texas offensive coordinator today. O'Brien going to Alabama to be the OC.
Right.
We were going to talk about how you can watch on the app or the forum or the YouTube or the Alexa or the Roku.
The Roku, yeah.
But now, breaking news out of the WAC. 5 teams have joined and will be joined on the show momentarily via Zoom. Armstrong, our producer, is setting it up right now to get Dr. Brad Teague of the University of Central Arkansas. UCA, they are not joining the WAC.
Not yet.
However, you've got 3 or 4 teams in the Southland Conference that are jumping ship from the Southland to join the WAC.
Yeah. And it'll be interesting to see, will that change any scheduling for Baylor in the future? Like, will there be teams that Baylor ends up playing in the non-conference from the WAC? Like, I don't know. We'll see.
Right.
I mean, it would make sense.
I'm getting the thumbs up from our producer, Armstrong, that we've got
Beautiful.
Dr. Brad Teague. Let's see if we can pull him up here on our Zoom call and bring him on to Up Tempo today. Armstrong, let me know whenever he's in and ready to rock, and we'll grab him. But again, I get a beat on those 5 teams. Stephen F. Austin, Sam Houston State coming to the WAC. And now we've got Dr. Brad Teague. Dr. Teague just coming out of a break right here on Up Tempo from the University of Central Arkansas, the director of athletics, a friend of a friend from back home. My old address was a Conway address, but somehow they talked me into coming to Waco. So here I am. But Dr. Teague, news just broke from the WAC that they're adding 5 teams, a solid conglomerate of which are coming from the Southland Conference. What does this mean for the Southland Conference?
Well, first, Drake, my biggest question is, why were you friends with Nick Newman? That's the biggest question I have.
For some reason, they hired him as the athletic director at my old high school. I always questioned it, but I guess in the end, it worked out for everybody.
Yeah, I hear you. No, that's good. So, yeah, Drake, there's a lot. I think you're going to see a lot of changes coming throughout the college landscape among conferences, and we could kind of see that coming. I mean, a lot of that was COVID related, just the fact that we can't get together and see each other face to face, and it's always Zoom, and trying to conduct meetings, and that I think further divided maybe some of the folks who were not like-minded with these institutions. So I knew that some of these Texas institutions were looking for something different, and a few of them just struck up this Western athletic conversation, the WAC conversation, and it bore roots, and this is where we are today. So, we could see this coming, and obviously, if you've deduced through the release that we're not a part of the Southland Conference either. So, we've gone from 13 now to 8 schools in the Southland Conference, and so those 4 Texas schools are leaving, and we're leaving, and we're going to go east. We're going to form the new ASUN Football League.
There it is.
And so that's the plan for Central Arkansas.
Wow. So, Dr. Teague, we've got J.D. Piquel, my co-host, with us. Before I hit it off to your question, JD, we got to know.
Questions.
You said headed off east to the A-Sun. What exactly is that going to look like for UCA and then that new conference as a whole?
Yeah, well, so in football, in the FCS, Football Championship Subdivision, you have to have 6 Division I institutions, fully Division I institutions, playing to get an automatic qualification to the national tournament, to the playoffs. And so we should have 6 moving in, and I can't really I can't tell you who they are right now because some of these institutions are still having to go in front of their board of trustees to make this happen. But I can tell you, Kennesaw State and North Alabama are members of the A-Sun. They play football in the Big South. They're affiliate members of the Big South. So those 2 will be part of the A-Sun Football League. And then we've got 3 others who should be joining us and maybe more after that. We kind of feel like once we announce this partnership, which hopefully is coming either late January or early February, that we'll have other institutions that want to be a part of it. So it's all public schools. It's all big brands. It's going to be a pretty strong football league. So we're excited about it.
Wow. So in regards to this league itself, again, during a commercial break, we found out about this. Drake scrambled to call you. Armstrong's looking stuff up on Google. I'm using Google. So this is very, very minimal research prior to my question. But my question is, what is the timeline like for eventually going FBS? Will that be immediate? Will that be later down the road? Or what does that look like in terms of FBS versus FCS to start off?
Yeah. So as you know, in the A-Sun, Liberty is a member of the A-Sun. They play FBS independent. So we know there's an avenue for those of us who want to go FBS to do so. And let's assume that not all 6 want to do it. We're hopeful that the A-Sun 6 we'll take the whole A-Sun to FBS, and then Liberty would join us. If not all 6 want to do that, then we know a number of us can do it and be independent. And even though we're independent, we have each other to play. So it's not like, we would be without schedules and it would be cumbersome. So I think the timeline question, I'm hopeful that could happen in 2 or 3 years.
With the formation of the WAC and what you see out of those schools, obviously Sam Houston State, Stephen F. Austin, Lamar, just to name a couple that you guys have relationships with already. You see those schools move that you have relationships with. Do you expect them to make that jump to FBS with this new conference pretty quickly?
Yeah, I think that's certainly something that Sam Houston wants to see happen. I know that's a case. I think the other schools hope that they improve their basketball brand by going to the WAC. I think that was a big reason to move. So I think you've got some basketball-centric schools, and then you got some football-centric ones. So we'll see what happens. But I know in their release they said that that's an opportunity in the future. We'll see. I think that I know that there'll be a couple who really want to press that issue to move to FBS, but it could be 2 years, it could be 10 years. We'll just have to see.
You mentioned basketball brand. What sport's going to be affected the most immediate?
For the A-Sun or for the WAC?
Both.
Yeah. Well, so both will be starting football again. So, I think that's going to get a lot of attention. Of course, the WAC had football at one time, and now they're restarting football. The A-Sun, this will be a new endeavor. So I think that's going to be really interesting and really exciting. And so really, when you look at the FCS landscape, right now there's 13 FCS conferences, and now all of a sudden we'll have 15 FCS conferences. So, you invite 24 to the playoffs. And by the way, of those 13, only 10 have AQs because the Ivy League doesn't play in postseason, and the SWAC and the MEAC play in their Celebration Bowl, so they don't go to the postseason either. So there's 10 AQs. We add 2 more to it. Now there's 12 AQs of the 24, so you reduce the number of at-large from 14 to 12. So anyway, there's some implications for sure that will happen. So I think football will get the most attention right now, but otherwise, obviously basketball. Everybody wants to improve in basketball, and the Southland Conference, I think the WAC was, RPI as a conference was a little bit better than the Southland, and the A-Sun's better than both. So I think we'll both see more competitive leagues that we're moving into in basketball.
Talking immediate, Dr. Teague, the director of athletics at the University of Central Arkansas, on with Uptempo. Talking immediate, what does this WAC decision and the decision for UCA to move into a new conference, how does that affect you right now? Has that really just thrown you for a loop in the last couple months?
Well, you think about this past year, we had a men's basketball head coach change, and then we had COVID, and then we had social justice, and now we're changing conferences. So it's been exciting. Yeah. I'll tell you that. It's been an unusual year for many of us, and then more so for those of us who are changing conferences. Right now, what we're trying to figure out is, we're playing in this fall in our fall sports in a new conference. We need schedules. We need schedules as soon as possible.
It's that fast. It's that fast, yeah. Dr. T.
It's 6 months away, and so we need schedules as soon as possible. We already have non-conference games scheduled, so how are these conference schedules, these new conference schedules, going to impact our non-conference schedules? So, it's a puzzle, and we need information as soon as possible, and we're pressing for that, and I know the ASUN wants to provide that for us.
So,
go ahead.
Yeah. What I wanted to ask just real quick before JD gets into his too. I'm sorry I cut you off.
No, you're great.
With the spring schedule coming up, will the Southland Conference still be intact for that?
Yes. Yeah.
Wow. Okay. So you'll get one last hoorah.
That's right. So we're and I don't know if you know this, but those 4 Texas schools actually had notified the conference that they would leave in 2022. So they were going to stay in another year in the Southland Conference. Wow. And the board of directors, the now 8 board of directors remaining, said, no, let's go ahead and rip that Band-Aid off and make it happen now. So, this is it for all 5 of us this spring.
Wow.
And how much of a catalyst was COVID to these changes?
Yeah, I think it certainly impacted it. Again, just differences of opinion on a lot of things. Obviously you saw Central Arkansas and Abilene Christian and Stephen F. Austin. We all played football schedules in the fall when our conference decided not to. And I think there was some animosity there. We wanted to go ahead and push forward. I mean, this is an unknown pandemic and the rules change daily. So we just decided we needed to go ahead and see what we could do in the fall and play all our sports in the fall. We were fortunate enough, we're an outlier in the Southland Conference, meaning we've got to travel a long way to play everybody.
Yeah.
But that means non-conference, we can find some games in proximity. And so the Sun Belt Conference allowed us to play our fall sports, volleyball, men's and women's soccer. We're already in the Sun Belt and men's soccer affiliate member, but the other fall sports we're able to play in the Sun Belt Conference for a fall schedule. So we were able to play the fall, and now we're going to play some games in the spring too. So it's been really interesting.
Wow. Dr. Teague, I know you got to get off here at 11:45, so we won't take too much more of your time, but let me tell you what, looking at the WAC, you guys won't have to travel to Seattle or CalBAP or Grand Canyon. Congratulations on on all that you'll save in those travel fees and dues that Lamar will have to cough up over the next few years. If that alone is a bright side out of this for anybody, I'm happy for you.
Thanks, Drake. And yeah, I mean, that's got to be concerning. I think they have a plan for playing in divisions in everything except football and basketball. So, they state that many of their sports will just stay in Texas until postseason play. So we'll see. It's never what you think it is once you get into it. So we'll see what happens.
Well, Dr. Teague, I tell you what, little taste of home. Thanks so much for coming on with us today. I tell you, go to the Hole in Wall Cafe, get you some lunch today, maybe some pineapple whip after, David Burgers tonight. Enjoy the Conway High Life.
That sounds like a great plan, Drake. You need to come back and try it too.
I sure will. That's Dr. Brad Teague, the University of Central Arkansas, joining us today on Uptempo, talking about the movers and shakers in the FCS. Yeah. A whole lot going on in the WAC. And there's a whole new conference we just learned about, JD.
Just boom.
Dr. Teague, thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you, guys.
Absolutely. Wow.
On Uptempo, no less.
On Uptempo.
That's where the news breaks.
That's the stuff you get right here on Uptempo. The WAC says we're adding 5 new teams. Uptempo says we're on top of it.
Uptempo says how high.
Woo! I'm Drake Toll. That's JD Piquel. Armstrong Sims is back there. Dr. Brad Teague, the University of Central Arkansas Athletic Director, talking a whole lot going on today. Breaking news out of the WAC, the Pac-Sun? The
ASUN.
The ASUN.
ASUN, yeah.
The ASUN. We learned about a whole...
I love Pac-Sun. Pac-Sun is where I get my shoes.
Please don't say that clip. We learned about a whole new conference just now.
Yeah, that was wild. That all just happened in a matter of seconds. First of all, winter break. Nobody knows what's going on. Drake calls Central Arkansas athletic director. He gets on us for a quick Zoom call. I'm Googling what is the WAC.
Armstrong called his brother.
Meanwhile,
his brother. I literally called my brother and said, please explain to me what the WAC is.
I start online shopping at PacSun. Got a lot of good deals. And The ASUN is now a conference, and it's all happening here on Uptempo.
Jeez. I'm Drake Toll. That's JD Piquel. Armstrong Sims is back there. Coming up next, we're playing Take 5. We got games and stuff to play. We got a ton of stuff to talk about we haven't talked about because the WAC had breaking news today. Drake Toll, JD Piquel, Armstrong Sims. How about a little Armstrong's Minute? Quick break and right back on Uptempo.
It was another wild night in college basketball, spearheaded by Mac McClung and number 15 Texas Tech, who went on the road and used the late-game heroics to erase a 12-point deficit and beat fourth-ranked Texas 79-77.
Nope, he's going to play it out. I like it. On the road, McClung for the win. Oh, my goodness. Mac McClung with 2.2 left.
Elsewhere in the nation, number 16 Louisville knocked off Wake Forest by 12 on the road. Number 18 Virginia beat Notre Dame 80-68 at home. Number 21 Ohio State beat Northwestern 81-71 in Columbus. And LSU jumped out to a historic 44-13 lead en route to beating Arkansas 92-76. In college football, Texas has solidified their offensive coordinator in Kyle Flood, who spent time as a head coach at Rutgers and was later an assistant with Sarkisian for the Atlanta Falcons and at Alabama. Flood will also serve as the team's offensive line coach, and Sarkisian is expected to remain the team's primary play caller. Alabama has also narrowed down a hire, as sources report that they are finalizing a deal to make former Houston, Texas head coach Bill O'Brien their offensive coordinator. I'm Armstrong Sims, and that's all the news that is news in college sports. This has been Armstrong's Minute on SicEm365 Radio's Uptempo.
With so many companies and policies out there, it gets so confusing shopping for insurance, and I never know if I'm getting the policy that's right for me. Luckily, I met the team at the Niche Group Insurance Agency. With the Niche Group, you can go to one company and get access to coverage options from many insurance carriers, and you get to speak to a real person about your specific coverage needs. With the Niche Group, I know I'm getting the right coverage at the right price. If you need insurance, talk to the experts at the Niche Group at 1-800-258-8302.
It takes time to reach goals. It's a truth that applies to more than sports. It goes for your financial goals as well. You work hard for your money, and you deserve an investment strategy that lines up with your game plan. And Tom Albers, your Edward Jones financial advisor, can help. If your financial investments aren't putting forth the effort you desire, stop by today for a financial review. Tom Albers, 4301 Lakeshore Drive, 254-776-7605. Edward Jones, member SIPC.
Stepping into the boots of a U.S. Army officer can add confidence and leadership skills to your son or daughter's career path. See all the things they can achieve in our boots at GoArmy.com. U.S. Army Waco Recruiting Company, 254-598-8131 or 254-776-1543.
Born in Waco, Brotherwell Brewing exists to serve the Central Texas community with locally crafted beer of the highest quality. They want to bring Central Texas closer to the brewing experience so everyone can enjoy well-made beer as much as they do. For 2.5 years, they've been bringing high-quality beer to Central Texas at their location on Bridge Street in East Waco. And this football season, you need to stop by on game day for curbside pickup or stop by their tent next to SicEm365 at Brazos Parking for your pregame refreshment. Brotherwell Brewing believes in community and bringing people together to enjoy products made in their community. So for your game day, whether it's a tailgate or at home, stop by Brotherwell Brewing for high-quality craft beer made right here in Central Texas, 400 East Bridge Street, and check them out online at brotherwell.com.
Boozers is the wedding ring store and more. If you're ready to get engaged or already married and want to upgrade your wife's ring for a special anniversary, Boozers is the place to go. With the largest selection of premier quality diamond engagement rings and wedding rings in Central Texas. They have 7 cases with over 300 styles of rings from top designers like Natalie Kay. Choose from yellow, white, or rose gold, plus beautiful top quality loose diamonds. With an in-house jewelry, they can also custom make anything you want. Bring in a picture or drawing and let Boozers create your one-of-a-kind pendant or ring. They can even use some of your old gold and diamond jewelry to create something new. At Boozers, you'll find a great selection of quality timepieces, and Boozers is the place for expert watch maintenance and repairs, too. They specialize in expert Rolex watch repair for fine jewelry, watches, custom work, and more. Go to Boozers on Valley Mills and Lake Air Drive in Waco.
Boozers, the wedding ring store and more.
Car has the trucks, man. They have the one for for you. Crew cab, short or long bed, silver, black or blue. Texas size selection, great prices too. Richard Carr, he has the truck for you. Carr has the trucks, man, he has the truck you need. If you want the best truck, you want a GMC. Texas size selection, great prices too. Richard Carr, they have the truck for you.
Welcome back to Up Tempo on SicEm365 Radio.
Okay. All right. Everybody take a deep breath. It's okay. It's okay. Everything is going to be okay.
Baylor's still playing games.
Baylor, I have on good authority that Baylor is not joining the WAC. They considered, but they're not.
They thought about it.
The Southland also called because they lost a lot of teams, and Baylor said no to the Southland as well. But I do have on direct authority that Stephen F. Austin, Lamar, Sam Houston State, and Abilene Christian are all going to the WAC and will be in the same conference as Seattle and Cal Baptist.
What a wacky day.
Wacky day.
And the ASUN is a thing now.
We're not even an hour into the show. We've got so much more stuff to cover right now. So the Up-Tempo Twitter account tweets, the WAC added 5 teams. Do you care? Armstrong, did you tweet that?
I did.
That's the single worst worded tweet I've ever seen in my life. That's like the most biased way to put that.
What are you talking? It's a simple yes or no question.
Right. But you didn't include the fact that Lamar...
You did ask that question, though, on air. And it just got put into print.
That's a good point.
There it is. I mean, the people are speaking on Twitter.
I mean, right now I care. Tomorrow I may not care as much. But right now this is news.
Right now it's
relevant.
huge.
Right now it's relevant.
I care.
In 45 minutes, I may not care. I'm going to be honest with you. I may not care in 45
I will probably
minutes.
forget about it at some
Right now I care, though. Right now this is the most important thing going on in my life.
But here's it. We know Brian Bell well.
We do.
Double B's, the real double B's. Quarterback at Sam Houston State, went to 2 national championships, all-time winningest quarterback at Sam Houston State. The man's a beast. He played in the Southland. No longer. His alma mater, gone.
Audi.
WAC.
Not in that conference anymore.
Western Athletic Conference. Wow.
I love it, though. They have a cool logo. I like seeing, wasn't Hawaii in the WAC for a minute?
I don't know, man.
I remember seeing Cole Brennan.
You know what I know about the WAC?
Logo.
You know what I know about the WAC? Everything that Armstrong's brother just told Armstrong. When Armstrong called him frantically in the middle of a commercial break and was like, hey, what's the WAC?
I felt so bad when we had the athletic director on because I'm asking questions just like off the top of my head with very little research.
It's kind of me. It's like, excuse us, sir, but we don't know anything about what has just happened. Can you explain everything?
Well, yeah.
And he did.
Like in the office, explain it to me like I'm 5.
That's me. What is the WAC? We figured it out, though. Breaking news today. Those teams are joining the WAC.
Love it.
Tilting back to where we were going, we have Joey Scrivano joining us at 12:05 today, the Baylor head women's tennis coach. Excited to have him on. How about a special guest host today? Skylar Wetzel came on the show last week, was baller. And I was like, you know what, this guy's got a face for TV, a voice for radio. He's on.
By popular demand.
And
he's
so
back.
I asked him, I was like, do you want to come on the show? And he's like, I got to check my schedule. I got a lot going on.
As I'm sure he does.
Right. And thankfully, we found some time, built in a little window right here. We got him coming on at 12:05 with Joey Scrivano. Also today, Sydney Washington of the Baylor track team. Sydney, her and her Lady Bears running in the meet this weekend, competing in the meet this weekend. She's going to break that down for us. We had Casey Lightfoot a couple days ago. Coach Todd Harbor was on yesterday. And now we'll have Sydney Washington. And then how about a little Tate Williams action?
He's not joining the WAC.
Tate Williams is not joining the WAC, but he is joining the trenches at the Baylor offensive line. Have you seen that, dude? Do we have a picture of him in a watermelon? I said, because Armstrong...
Let me get that. You always ask for the one
He's
picture
a psycho too.
I don't
I sent a picture to Armstrong last night of Tate Williams
way.
and a watermelon. And Armstrong this morning was like, man, Tate Williams is a big dude. And that's when I remembered Tate Williams coming on the show today.
Y'all see his tweet? Said, meet me in the paint, and it's just him
coming on the show today?
Oh, yeah. I've got that. Yeah,
That's
I didn't
so
tell Armstrong
funny.
either. I didn't tell our producer. We got another guest that we added in.
Yeah, you got to tell the producer.
I'm pulling it.
Add a guest.
I love Smokey does that. He's got like the TBD, like the hey. There's a very good possibility they're coming on the show, and typically it happens.
I need to know.
I've learned really well from David Smoak. Glad to be. I don't. Am I an apprentice? I don't know if I would love to be like called David Smoak. Look at that though. That is Tate Williams and a watermelon.
Yeah.
That's not a small watermelon either. That's not a small man.
It's like a cartoon.
Look at that boy beside him. You know that kid's 16?
Stop.
Yep. That kid got his driver's license the same day. That's his high school baseball uniform.
Is that Dustin Pedroia?
Yep.
Is that Dustin Pedroia? And
You're lying on the air.
I don't know. That's Tate Williams, though. Tate Williams is not 16. He is 10'6", 358.
He's like
It's
an
a
urban
lean
legend.
10 foot. It's a lean.
He's
10
a mythical character.
He's a
Just
Paul
carries around
Bunyan.
watermelon.
All right, it's take 5 today. That's the game we're playing here on Uptempo. It is the 2 truths and 3 lies because 2 truths and a lie would just be, it's overplayed. It's overplayed.
Yeah.
Take 5 today. We've got 5 sets of facts.
Okay.
Or are they fiction? You and Armstrong have to decide today on take 5. All right.
Okay.
Number 1. Is this true or false? Armstrong and JD, you're competing against each other.
Okay.
The winner of this
Gets an ice shaker.
Nothing. All right.
Free forum pass.
Yeah, you probably don't get it. I will give you 17 bonus points. 17.
See, what are bonus points good for? Like,
It's up tempo.
A lot of things.
Can I cash them in for anything?
It is up tempo. No one's counting, and the points don't matter. But you can have 17.
You give out points to callers all the time.
I gave out 6 yesterday, and that was a big deal for me. I don't typically give out that many.
But they mean nothing.
You give out more.
I did give Steve Rodriguez 300 for saying he would arm wrestle Mike Gundy on our show.
So I'm just wondering, are we
Worth it.
are we leading these callers on when we give them points? You know?
Oh, 100%.
Well,
but I wouldn't tell them.
Okay,
that
what's
on
the first
air.
question?
First question. Stan Musial, Stan the man. Stan Musial played for anybody?
You know Armstrong?
Oh, I thought you were going to say.
St. Louis Cardinals. Come on, guys.
I didn't know.
Had 3,630. Listen to the numbers. 3,630 hits in his career. 1,815 came in his home ballpark. 1,815 came on the road. Same amount of hits at home and on the road. 3,630 hits in his career. True or false?
That's bizarre enough to say I think that's true.
JD's going true. Armstrong?
Yeah, I have true.
We've got 2 trues on the first one. Second question. Tom Brady has thrown 10% of all Super Bowl touchdown passes.
Wow. 10's a lot. You want to take this one first, Armstrong?
Yeah, I'm going to go false.
Armstrong's got false. JD?
10%. Dude, 10% is so high.
That's
I'm going to say that's false.
We got 2 falses.
So high.
We've got Vince Carter has played against 40% of NBA players that have touched the court in the NBA. True or false?
Since the merger? Like the new, like the
Yes.
NBA,
40% of
Not the ABA, like the 40%
Yeah.
of the NBA players.
Because that matters. I'm going to say 40% is really high too.
I'm going to say that you go first.
I think that's false.
I'm going to go true.
I got a true from Armstrong, false from JD. Now we have Peyton Manning and Trent Richardson are tied for their longest run in a single play in their NFL careers.
True.
I got true from JD. Armstrong?
True.
True from Armstrong. Last one. Wilt Chamberlain scored 50 points and averaged 23 rebounds in a season, 50 and 23, and did not win the MVP.
So it's what? 2 truths and 3 lies.
I can't give you that.
Right.
It could be 4 and 1. It could be 5.
Oh,
Okay.
So there could be any mix.
Yeah.
So see, I think that's true.
I think that's false.
Okay, Armstrong's got a false. JD's got a true.
I think JD went 5 now.
It is.
5-0.
Here you go. Stan Musial.
I think so.
That is true. You both got correct on true. Tom Brady, 10% of all Super Bowl passes. That is false.
Good,
You
good.
both got false. You know why it's... Oh, false. No, that's true. That's true. I played my own game incorrectly. Tom Brady has thrown 10% of all Super Bowl touchdown
ridiculous.
passes.
That's
I
ridiculous.
went from the highest euphoria to the lowest of lows in a matter of seconds.
You both got that wrong.
I think you're wrong.
You got
But you're
that
still
wrong, too.
tied. You're still
I think
tied.
you're wrong.
No, it's
All
10%.
3 of us got that wrong.
It is actually 10%.
Okay.
Vince Carter has played against 40% of all-time NBA players. Armstrong says true. JD says false. It is false.
I
JD,
kind of hoped it was true.
Do you have a stat on how many he's played against?
it is 37%.
Okay.
Jeez, that's
Not
so
40.
high.
I think I deserve credit for that.
No, not
still
even
so
close. That's not
high.
how the game goes. It's supposed to be hard.
You're close, but 3%.
Yeah.
Close.
So
Hard is a 50-50 toss-up.
I made the game. I make the rules.
Keep going.
Vince,
Y'all are both
we got Peyton Manning and Trent Richardson are tied for the longest run in a single play. Both of you said true.
Yeah.
It is false. Peyton Manning's longest run is 33 yards. Trent Richardson, 32.
No way.
Peyton Manning
Poor
has
Trent
a
Richardson.
longer career run on one play than Trent Richardson.
That's hilarious.
Last one right here for a whole lot of marbles. Wilt Chamberlain scored 50, averaged 23 rebounds in a season, and did not win MVP. Armstrong says false. JD says true. It is true.
Wow. Who won MVP that year?
So he
Do we
went
know?
5-0?
I missed Tom Brady.
Yeah, he went three.
Yeah.
He only got 3 right. He got 3 out of 5. You got 2 out of 5.
Which ones did I miss? Tom Brady. And
You
which
got 1. You got 1 out of 5. Oh,
I missed Tom Brady and which one?
Guys,
and
I'm good at this. I'm good at this stuff.
Yeah, you missed Tom Brady. All right. That's it. We hit the 12 o'clock hour. That means this guy has to take his dog to the dog park. I'm Drake Toll. That's JD Piquel. Joey Scrivano, the head women's tennis coach at Baylor University, joins us next alongside guest host Skylar Wetzel. We'll be right back after this. A little bit of Armstrong's Minute. Quick commercial break. This is Up Tempo.
It was another wild night in college basketball, spearheaded by Mac McClung and number 15 Texas Tech, who went on the road and used the late-game heroics to erase a 12-point deficit and beat fourth-ranked Texas 79-77.
Nope. He's going to play it out. I like it. On the road. McClung for the win. Oh, my goodness. Mac McClung with 2.2 left.
Elsewhere in the nation, number 16 Louisville knocked off Wake Forest by 12 on the road. Number 18 Virginia beat Notre Dame 80-68 at home. Number 21 Ohio State beat Northwestern 81-71 in Columbus. And LSU jumped out to a historic 44-13 lead en route to beating Arkansas 92-76. In college football, Texas has solidified their offensive coordinator in Kyle Flood, who spent time as a head coach at Rutgers and was later an assistant with Sarkisian for the Atlanta Falcons and at Alabama. Flood will also serve as the team's offensive line coach, and Sarkisian is expected to remain the team's primary play caller. Alabama has also narrowed down a hire, as sources report that they are finalizing a deal to make former Houston, Texas head coach Bill O'Brien their offensive coordinator. I'm Armstrong Sims, and that's all the news that is news in college sports. This has been Armstrong's Minute on SicEm365 Radio's Up Tempo.
With so many companies and policies out there, it gets so confusing shopping for insurance, and I never know if I'm getting the policy that's right for me. Luckily, I met the team at the Niche Group Insurance Agency. With the Niche Group, you can go to one company and get access to coverage options from many insurance carriers, and you get to speak to a real person about your specific coverage needs. With the Niche Group, I know I'm getting the right coverage at the right price. If you need insurance, talk to the experts at the Niche Group at 1-800-258-8302.
It takes time to reach goals. It's a truth that applies to more than sports. It goes for your financial goals as well. You work hard for your money, and you deserve an investment strategy that lines up with your game plan. And Tom Albers, your Edward Jones financial advisor, can help. If your financial investments aren't putting forth the effort you desire, stop by today for a financial review. Tom Albers, 4301 Lakeshore Drive, 254-776-7605. Edward Jones, member SIPC.
Stepping into the boots of a U.S. Army officer can add confidence and leadership skills to your son or daughter's career path. See all the things they can achieve in our boots at GoArmy.com. U.S. Army Waco Recruiting Company, 254-598-8131 or 254-776-1543.
Born in Waco, Brotherwell Brewing exists to serve the Central Texas community with locally crafted beer of the highest quality. They want to bring Central Texas closer to the brewing experience so everyone can enjoy well-made beer as much as they do. For 2.5 years, they've been bringing high-quality beer to Central Texas at their location on Bridge Street in East Waco. And this football season, you need to stop by on game day for curbside pickup or stop by their tent next to SicEm365 at Brazos Parking for your pregame refreshment. Brotherwell Brewing believes in community and bringing people together to enjoy products made in their community. So for your game day, whether it's a tailgate or at home, stop by Brotherwell Brewing for high-quality craft beer made right here in Central Texas, 400 East Bridge Street, and check them out online at brotherwell.com.
Boost
Boozers is the wedding ring store and more. If you're ready to get engaged or already married and want to upgrade your wife's ring for a special anniversary, Boozers is the place to go. With the largest selection of premier quality diamond engagement rings and wedding rings in Central Texas. They have 7 cases with over 300 styles of rings from top designers like Natalie Kay. Choose from yellow, white, or rose gold, plus beautiful top quality loose diamonds. With an in-house jewelry, they can also custom make anything you want. Bring in a picture or drawing and let Boozers create your one-of-a-kind pendant or ring. They can even use some of your old gold and diamond jewelry to create something new. At Boozers, you'll find a great selection of quality timepieces, and Boozers is the place for expert watch maintenance and repairs too. They specialize in expert Rolex watch repair for fine jewelry, watches, custom work, and more. Go to Boozers on Valley Mills and Lake Air Drive in Waco.
Boozers, the wedding ring store and more.
Car has the trucks, man. They have the one for you. Crew cab, short or long bed, silver, black or blue. Texas size selection, great prices too. Richard Carr, he has the truck for you. Carr has the trucks, man. He has the truck you need. If you want the best truck, you want a GMC. Texas size selection, great prices too. Richard Carr, they have the truck for you.
Welcome back to Up Tempo on SicEm365 Radio.
All right, welcome back into Up Tempo. I am Drake Toll alongside guest host for today, Skylar Wetzel, joining us, former Baylor football player. I say former very loosely because it's not that former. Like, it's only barely former.
Not that former. Just a couple months.
Formers.
We ended the season, I guess, December 12th.
Yeah,
so,
like this guy right here was in one of these helmets not that long ago.
Not too long ago. Actually, it wasn't one of those, but if you can see back here, one of those.
And now he's on Up Tempo.
Now I'm on Up Tempo. I'm honored to be here. I had so much fun as a guest. Couldn't stay away.
This guy, look, he made time for us today, guys. Come on. And guess who else made time for us? But we got not one, but 2 of the Baylor women's tennis coaches joining us today. Coach Joey Scrivano, the head women's coach, alongside assistant Linka Brusova. Both of you guys, thanks so much for coming on. We're excited to have you today.
Same here. This is a pleasure to be on here, and love what you guys are doing.
Absolutely. Well, I'll tell you what, the entire goal of this show is to really give as much publicity to the Baylor programs as a whole across the board, and we want to do that for you guys as well and pick your brains over the season that's coming up. Coach Scrivano, starting with you, picked 3rd in the Big 12 preseason poll. When you saw that, when your team saw that, was that fuel for your fire? What do you make of that?
Doesn't matter.
Clip it, Armstrong. That's going on social media.
That is a classic coach answer.
That is perfect.
That is a great answer, Coach Scrivano. I love that.
And so what I'll do, too, is to pass it around. Coach Brusova, I'm looking right here. December 2nd of 2020, so that's just a little bit over a month ago, the press release comes out that you are joining the Baylor tennis staff. So this is still pretty new, pretty fresh. What led you to Baylor in this role?
Well, I played for Joey 10 years ago. So I'm a Baylor Bear. I bleed green and gold. So when Joey called and, this opportunity presented itself, I could not say no. It's been a dream come true for me, and I love Baylor. I've been a fan ever since I graduated. So I just could not say no. It's been a dream come true, like I said. So I'm very excited.
Wow.
Yeah, Coach Scrivano, how you doing, by the way? I don't know if anybody knew this, but Coach Scrivano was getting his graduate degree in his spare time. So me and him, I was honored enough to be in a class with him, with Coach Tusa, the WISD athletic director. So Coach Scrivano, it's great to see you again. Big fan of your work. I have a lot of respect for you as a coach. Just talk to me a little bit about what Baylor means to you and what draws you to Baylor University. What's kept you here? What's kept you and your family here? And how does Baylor's vision for their athletic program, fit your personality and fit your coaching philosophy?
Well, yeah, thanks, Skylar. It was a lot of fun to be in Coach Tusa's class, and there was a lot of football players in there, and obviously I have so much respect for what you guys did, making that Sugar Bowl just a year ago. So
appreciate that, Coach. Thank you.
Yeah, and you did a heck of a job on the whiteboard there, scheming some offense.
Thank you. Absolutely.
But yeah, ultimately, you know, what drove me to Baylor was, you know, I was really in alignment with the vision for the tennis program. You know, it's been 2 decades almost now, and you know, I could see that the program was trending up. You know, Baylor as a whole was really growing and building something. You know, at the time we had the Vision 2012 plan, and you know, it could see where it was going. It was like buying a stock where you're just like, this is a high growth stock, and if you can just buy it and hold it over a long period of time, it's going to turn into something really special. And that's the way I saw Baylor. It was just, they were really committed to their athletics programs as a whole. And in particular, with the tennis program, it was kind of at an inflection point of going from being, you know, a team that was competing at a high level and making the NCAA tournament and having strong finishes to the Big 12, but they wanted to do something more than that. And at that time, and this hasn't changed, I want to take this to a whole nother level. And we've been able to do that with great players like Lanka and many more that are too many to name. But there's still a lot of unfinished business. You know, my mission for this program, you know, the vision for it ultimately is that I want it to be a program that's competing for national championships year in and year out, and to really develop young women that are ready to go out into the workforce, ready to have families, and really truly understand leadership and understand culture. So ultimately, you know, we've been able to do that. And, you know, we haven't reached that national championship barrier yet, but we have developed a lot of great young women that are doing great things out in the world. And it's really special for me to have one come back and continue to build this program.
Absolutely. Thank you for that, Coach.
Coach, with your program now, the addition just recently of Isabella Harvison coming on, she was talking to us last week on Uptempo, and thanks again for allowing her to come on the show. And she was telling us, you know, she goes, one day in Barcelona, Spain, in the transfer portal, 10 days later, she's a Baylor Bear. I mean, 2 weeks out from being on the program in Alabama and being in Spain, and just what a warp speed that things kind of happen in that situation. And now she's in Waco. What has that situation been like? How did that all come about even?
Yeah, so, you know, we're navigating this new world of recruiting where this transfer portal sometimes produces these great opportunities. And with Isabella, you know, we were shocked when we saw her name in there because we know what she's, you know, how good of a player she is. We recruited her, you know, a couple of years ago. You know, Baylor was one of the schools she was looking at. So I had a relationship with her and really knew her family, her coaches, and we know how special of a student athlete she is. But really, the opportunity came about because Alabama didn't have an accredited public health degree. And I think she told you that, but that's really the big thing. So I'm really thankful for the public health program here at Baylor, that they have done their due diligence and have become accredited or have been accredited for whatever amount of time, because without that, Isabella wouldn't be a Baylor Bear.
Wow. And Coach Brasova, for you, have you been able to be in contact with her yet? And how big is that from your perspective?
Yeah, I'm so excited about Isabella. You know, she actually has some Czech-Slovakian background, which that's where I'm from. I'm from Slovakia, so I was actually able to speak today with her grandma in Czech. Wow. So that was fun. And they said they spend, you know, their time in Czech, so it's been awesome. But she's such a great kid, which was so apparent from the beginning, from the first time we spoke to her. High character, she's all about the big picture, loves tennis. She just fits our program and what Baylor tennis is about, and what our legacy has been, and where we're going. So I think, yeah, like Joey said, we've just been fortunate that, you know, things kind of lucked out for us, and I'm very excited for her. She's already, you know, adding value to our program. Just yeah, she's a great kid. Super pumped.
Yeah.
Now, you both have mentioned, you both talk about developing young women that'll go out into the workforce someday, be great mothers someday, be great family members, be great students. You obviously both value academics very highly, and obviously you both love Baylor University. So how do you both, you can both answer this, I'd love to hear from both of you. How do you both go about, developing young women like you talk about? How do you go about not only being tennis coaches, but being mentors to your athletes? How do you mix that in with not only your tennis training, but developing people over players?
Micah, you want?
There you go first.
Okay. All right. Well, yeah.
Joey did a great job with me. So.
Obviously. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Well, I think ultimately when you, if you can recruit with the why being out in front, you got to really recruit people that are in alignment with what you're trying to do. You can't grow somebody if they have no interest in growing. So ultimately it all starts with people, and it starts in the recruiting. We have a real distinct why. Our why is it's about becoming better and different and doing something really that's impossible to most. Can you buy into that? And in that pursuit of building a healthy culture, because Skylar, you can't win without a healthy culture. It's not sustainable. So through culture, through trying to build something that is that can last over decades, you have to focus on people. It can't be about the bottom line. It can't be about, hey, we're just trying to beat Prairie View on Saturday. It has to be way bigger than that. So from a macro level, everything starts with recruit young ladies that have the similar why. They want to be better. They know that they need help to learn and grow, to really become the best versions of themselves. And then from there, it's put culture ahead of everything else. You never sacrifice your culture for results. And the combination of those two things can really lead to people growing and becoming great. And sometimes everything works out together, and you can end up having a lot of results on the scoreboard where everybody understands that one. Everybody can see the results on the scoreboard, but more importantly for us, Lenka had a lot of success here as a student athlete. I don't know if there's ever been a student athlete that's had more success than her. But for me, I was hoping during the time of coaching her that she'd be the person she is today. And that was the thing that really drove me, was I got to really help her and her teammates. I want that question to be answered 10 years later. Did I do a good job? And instead of being, well, you did a good job because you've won the Big 12. Well, we all know that's pretty short term.
Thank you for that, Coach.
And then, Coach, for me, and coming into the season this weekend, what do you expect out of your squad? And is this a team that can send you over the hump and take home the national championship trophy?
Yeah, I appreciate that question, because that's obviously what our fans and the Baylor family, they want to just know, hey, how's the team look right now? How's the stock doing today? They don't want to know what's going to happen in the long term. So, if we're going to look at on a day-to-day basis, it's really volatile. We just got out of practice, and it was, half of the team was really locked in and where they need to be. The other half was not even close. So today it was, I would say it doesn't look great. but
so honest.
Tell it like it is.
Got to.
Yeah, but I know that that's just a part of the process, and we're not going to panic because we have one bad practice, but we are never going to look the other way on a bad practice, or if something a young lady's doing, or a coaching member, whoever. We're not going to look the other way on putting culture first and putting the team first. I mean, that's all culture is. Are you going to put the team ahead of your own personal interest? Are you going to sacrifice the short term for the long term? And ultimately, the long-term perspective, this team is going to do some amazing things. I have no doubt about that. And I think our future is even brighter than what we've done in the past. So long-term, I'm really, really excited. Short-term, we got work to do.
Always have work to do.
Absolutely.
Classic coach answer.
Skylar?
Always got work to do. Coach Brusova, I'll ask this for you. And obviously I'm probably asking pretty deep questions right now. I apologize, but I'm just trying to pick the brains of coaches as a future coach. I'm trying to get into y'all's heads. Y'all are extremely successful at this profession. Obviously, you're in this position at Baylor for a reason. So, Coach Brusova, in terms of your coaching's philosophy, how does your philosophy align with Coach Scrivano's, and what drew you to this job? Obviously, you answered Drake's question about just loving Baylor and not being able to say no to this job just because it's a great opportunity. But what drew you to want to work with Coach Scrivano other than having played for him, and how does his philosophy align with yours?
It's, I would say, 99, if not 100% the same. One of the reasons why, to answer your question, this job it's hard. It's hard. It's not just like 9 to 5. You're dealing with people, and because of that, you have to trust the person that you're working with. In the job that I was before, I was fortunate that I trusted my boss and he trusted me, and the loyalty was there. And I didn't want to work for someone that was going to be compromised. It's you have to be a team in every sense imaginable. You just have to. You don't have to agree on everything, but you have to be a united front going forward. I'm fortunate that me and Joey agree on everything regardless. If anything, it's a discussion, but we have very similar outlook on life outside of tennis. In tennis, so it's I'm fortunate. It's easier than most, but it's exactly what Joey said, and I saw it in myself. I was a pretty decent player coming in, but when Joey put me through the system and the culture that he created and the mission that he is about and Baylor was about, it changed my life completely and changed me as a tennis player. So I wouldn't be where I am today if it wasn't for what Joey believes in, and it affected my tennis coaching as well. So it's very similar, and I wouldn't want to have it any other way. I believe, and me and my old teammates talk about it all the time. It's that we still talk about the things that Joey taught us. We still, implement it in our way. If even, one of my teammates is a lawyer, I'm a coach. Another teammate, she just became a mom, and we still have the same system that we're implementing in everyday life, which is that doing the right thing is the most important thing. Family is important, loyalty is important, hard work is important, and telling the truth, even though it's hard, is the important thing. We push each other even now. So for me, because I see how it affected me and what kind of person I became because of that, I would be a fool not to try to implement that in my job as well. So yeah, like I said, I'm very fortunate that we align in almost everything, and it's so much more fun that way because we don't have to sit down and kind of be on the same page. We're just gonna take off and go. So it's amazing, and I'm fortunate.
Absolutely.
Coach Scrivano, I can see the smile through your mask. To hear a former player say that came through your program, that's got to be cool. That's got to be cool. And Lenka, I'm looking right now, and you said you were pretty decent at tennis. I got to take a second to brag on you.
She was being modest.
She was being modest.
Extremely.
154 singles victories, 120 career doubles victories, both program records, 3-time All-American in doubles, 2-time All-American in singles. I would say she had a pretty good career.
A pretty good career.
Pretty good career.
Being extremely modest. This biography we're looking at is page, might as well be pages long.
Yeah, exactly. This is a whole PDF file. I don't have enough printer ink, Coach Brusova, to be able to, come on. But really, for both of you, and this question, I really, with your recruiting class that you brought in, as I'm looking up and down these news article after news article over what you guys have been able to do, not just in the fall, but now even moving through the winter. How excited are you both about this recruiting class? Yeah,
we're extremely excited. we still have more work to do. You know, we're really recruiting for 2022 now, or that's our main focus. But yeah, the athletes that we have coming for 2021 they really fit with our culture. And I know somebody out there is going to drink a shot every time I say culture. So sorry about that.
Not me. For legal reasons, not us.
Yeah, well, 22 years old.
But yeah, the young ladies that we have coming in are just a great fit. And, you know, we wouldn't recruit them if we weren't extremely excited about them and really believed in them.
Yeah. And then Coach Gravano, will end it here. So for you, 2 NCAA Final Fours, 6 Elite Eights, 11-time regular season Big 12 champions.
That's a resume.
6-time Big 12 Coach of the Year, Texas Region Coach of the Year 3 times. The list goes on of accolades. When you compile all that together, after 19 seasons at Baylor, K-Moss, what more? What's next for you? What's the next big goal?
Ooh, that's a great question. I think more than anything, I really want to just take this program to the point where it's gonna last, you know, way beyond my years here. And I just, you know, this past year, there was a lot of athletics programs being cut around the country, and that made me really reflect and think about, you know, where does this program need to be, you know, 30 years from now? And, you know, my mission is obviously we want to keep having success and go to a whole nother level. But we got to continue to develop young women that really going to do something out in the workplace with families. And ultimately, if we do this right and we build these relationships in a really healthy way, these athletes will give back, and they will give back in ways that are unimaginable, and make sure that this program can last for 30 years and the rest. As long as there's college athletics, I want there to be a Baylor women's tennis program. And the only way that can happen is the student athletes have to have a great experience. They have to really grow from this experience. And when we do that, they'll come back just like Lanka did, and they will do everything they can to make sure the program is healthy and will last forever.
Yeah. Well, Coach, here's what we got. I thank you so much for joining us today, and the insight that you were able to offer, especially going into this weekend as the season kicks off, is spectacular. Speaking on behalf of Skylar and myself, but we always finish our guests off with our Bear Games.
Bear Games.
So we got the Baylor.
Let's go.
Let's go. Well, everybody's ready for Bear Games. We got the Baylor's second best bracket. We're taking the 32 best players, second best players of the last decade in football. And today's matchups.
Coach Scrivano knows his ball.
He knows his ball, and I bet Coach Lenka does too, because these guys have been around even when she was playing at Baylor.
Big Baylor people.
How about Shock Linwood or Bryce Hager? You both get a vote here.
I don't even know my answer for this.
That's a tough one.
Shock Linwood is the
He's
all-time
all-name team.
Baylor's
He is the
rusher, I believe.
I'm gonna vote Shock.
We're going Shock Linwood.
I'm going with Hager.
Wow. What an
Still
upset.
in the league.
Pulling the upset.
Bryce,
that
still
right
in the
there.
league.
How about Lake Seastrunk or Seth Russell?
Okay. Lake Seastrunk, Temple legend.
I know Lake. I've played basketball with him a bunch of times. The guy's actually a heck of a basketball player.
That's not surprising.
Shoots way too much.
It's not surprising either.
I've not seen a shot that he doesn't like, but he was a heck of a football player, so I'm going with Lake.
Lake, and then Coach Brusova?
I'll pick Seth.
Wow, we got Seth Russell's on top right now. And then if there was
both of them.
One team, I'm going to give this question to you guys because you didn't get it yesterday. It was yesterday's. One team, one school you could add to the Big 12, who would it be?
Oh, this is always a great question. Wow. I know my answer. I want to hear Scrivano's.
It can't be Alabama.
What? Who else? Who's on the no-go list?
Anybody. Oh, the Alabama's the only no-go just because their football program.
Yeah, we're just not taking Alabama. We just don't want them.
Well,
we wouldn't take them. But
I would say Notre Dame, but the problem is we already have one school that kind of is all about themselves and not a great partner. So I'm not going to go there.
I don't think we want to travel up there either, though, Coach. That's a lot of traveling.
Are you sticking with it though, Notre Dame?
I go with Houston every time anybody asks me this, Coach. I go with Houston. I think that would be a logical, add to the Big 12. Notre Dame would, it'd be interesting.
Houston. Yeah.
All right, we got a Houston. And
we're not. I can't handle Notre Dame. It's too much. We got to create a great culture in the
culture. There's another one.
So no, I'm going to go with USC.
USC is coming to the Big 12.
Big money USC.
I love it.
Okay.
Coach Scrivano, Coach Masova, thanks so much for coming on Up Tempo today.
Thank you all both very much.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks, guys.
It was a
you guys
pleasure.
are great. On anytime. Come on the show anytime. Sikkim Bears. From both of those guys, I'm Drake Toll. Skylar Wetzel's joining us in studio today.
Sir.
Armstrong Sims is running the computers. This, Armstrong's Minute, is Up Tempo.
It was another wild night in college basketball, spearheaded by Mac McClung and number 15 Texas Tech, who went on the road and used the late-game heroics to erase a 12-point deficit and beat fourth-ranked Texas 79-77.
Nope, he's going to play it out. I like it. On the road, McClung for the win. Oh my goodness! Mac McClung with 2.2 left.
Elsewhere in the nation, number 16 Louisville knocked off Wake Forest by 12 on the road. Number 18 Virginia beat Notre Dame 80-68 at home. Number 21 Ohio State beat Northwestern 81-71 in Columbus. And LSU jumped out to a historic 44-13 lead en route to beating Arkansas 92-76. In college football, Texas has solidified their offensive coordinator in Kyle Flood, who spent time as a head coach at Rutgers and was later an assistant with Sarkisian for the Atlanta Falcons and at Alabama. Flood will also serve as the team's offensive line coach, and Sarkisian is expected to remain the team's primary play caller. Alabama has also narrowed down a hire, as sources report that they are finalizing a deal to make former Houston, Texas head coach Bill O'Brien their offensive coordinator. I'm Armstrong Sims, and that's all the news that is news in college sports. This has been Armstrong's Minute on SicEm365 Radio's Up Tempo.
At Baylor University, students can shine in their own way. Or should we say their own ways? Because there's no limit to the ways Baylor students make the world a brighter place. Whether they're leading a student organization or following a higher calling, getting advice from faculty, or taking part in world-class research, pursuing their dreams, or working toward their dream job, students find their place to shine at Baylor, where lights shine bright.
Riverbend Liquor and Wine has their easy-to-access drive-thru open and convenient and clean in-store location on the corner of Lakeshore Drive and North 19th Street in Waco. Riverbend Liquor has the best and most extensive variety of craft beer selections in Waco, and Balcones whiskey, including single malt, pot still, baby blue, rye, brimstone, and the all-new lineage in stock. Riverbend Liquor and Wine, family-owned and operated, and a hidden gem in Waco on Lakeshore Drive and 19th Street. And find out more on Facebook and Instagram.
From the first workout to the last practice, sports is an incredible challenge. Hi, this is Dan Engel with the First National Bank of Central Texas, and we're proud to support each athlete, every parent, and our educators. From families, small businesses, to the biggest industry, we're here to help. With remarkable products like instant issue debit cards free at all of our banking centers, we've got banking ideas that fuel big dreams. The First National Bank of Central Texas. Familiar faces making local decisions.
Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Let Camille Johnson Realtors guide you seamlessly through the process of buying your dream home or selling your current one. Commercial, farm and ranch, or residential, Camille Johnson Realtors can smoothly and successfully lead you through any transaction. With a team of 28 experienced agents who are excited about serving you, Camille Johnson Realtors services the entire greater Waco area. If you're in the market to buy or sell, contact Camille Johnson Realtors, 104 Midway Center in Woodway, or find them online at www.camillejohnson.com. Camille Johnson Realtors, elegant, charming, warm. Welcome home.
Waco
Waco Custom Marketplace is your home for holiday favorites for parties and the time with family. Various specials available in-store and online. A variety of steak gift boxes with 4 ribeyes for $70, 4 bacon wrapped fillets for $55, or 4 New York strips for $50, and all come with steak butter. Fall snack box for watching a game or wrapping presents or hosting people at your house, including summer sausage, split horn, and jalapeno cheese and salted crackers for only $35. 2 pieces of lobster tails with herb butter and 2 bacon wrapped fillets for $60. Order online or call in advance to ensure availability, or drop by Waco Custom Marketplace at 425 Lake Air Drive. Waco Custom Marketplace has a full-service butcher shop for customized orders or cuts of your favorite steaks or beef tenderloin or specially ordered prime rib roast. Plus, what you want with pork, poultry, seafood, and more. Waco Custom Marketplace, 425 Lake Air Drive in Waco, or WacoCustomMarketplace.com.
Welcome back to Up Tempo on SicEm365 Radio. Here's Drake Toll.
Let's go! Welcome back into Up Tempo for your Thursday lunchtime power hour.
Power hour.
The fastest 3 hours in radio. What is the other thing we say? It's a Baylor take on your lunch break.
Or a Baylor take on your lunch break.
That is catchy. I like that.
That's the new poll. That's today's Bear. That's another question for today is what do you like better? The fastest 3 hours in radio or a Baylor take on your lunch break?
I definitely like the lunch break.
Really?
I like the lunch break. Go ahead and shoot that out. See what the people think.
Yeah, let's see what people think.
I'll do it.
By the way, I was sitting back behind Armstrong earlier, and he is a wizard with that computer.
True.
I mean, he's doing things I have no. It's completely alien to me. I have no idea how any of that works, but he gets it done.
How about this? Riverbend Liquor and Wine text line. If the points don't matter, is this show whose line is it anyway? That comes from Jack Wheeler. Jack, don't oust me, because that was not original, but you're on to something with that right there.
That was good, though.
How about this? This is an awesome show, guys. Great job with the breaking story. That was whack. Yeah, it was. You guys see, if you missed an earlier part in the show, what you're going to want to do is what you can do on YouTube. I don't know if you can do this with anything else. I think you can do it on YouTube, where you can like scroll backwards.
Yep.
And you can watch things over again. And you can see where we broke the news, basically, like 3 or 4 minutes after it really broke, that the WAC is adding 5 new teams, including, and it affects us. It affects us. Lamar, Sam Houston State, Abilene Christian, Stephen F. Austin.
Mm-hmm. All potential non-conference opponents for the football program.
Correct. And the basketball program. We typically see basketball play at least 2 or 3 of those every single year. Football is, they're in that conversation. But Abilene Christian not too long ago.
You see, I walk in the door earlier, and they're all hype about something, and I thought I already knew the news about the WAC, but apparently they're adding more conferences, and I don't know what that means for the Southland Conference.
What was it? Yeah. What was the other thing that they called it? The A-Sun? The Atlantic Sun. The A-Sun.
Central Arkansas.
University of Central Arkansas is moving over there. Tarleton is in the WAC. It's been a WAC day across college athletics. Thanks to those conferences that are throwing us for a loop today. We're going to be joined later on in the show. How about a little bit of Tate Williams action?
I'm excited about Tate Williams, not only because he's going to be a really good offensive lineman once he gets on campus and gets coached up, but he's a great kid with a big personality.
How about
a big person?
Not only that, we saw him earlier holding the watermelon.
Yes.
The dude makes a watermelon look like tiny, absolutely tiny. We also have Sydney Washington of the track and field team. She is joining us later on in the show. That'll be at 1:05 as well. We'll have her on talking about the meet this weekend. We had Coach Todd Harbor yesterday of the men's and women's track team. I try to categorize, but you can't. Like the umbrella that Todd Harbor has. He's been here a long time. You know, there have only been over under 4 coaches in Baylor track history.
That's true, because wasn't Clyde
over under? You got to give me over under.
It's under.
It's under.
It's under. Clyde Hart was here for an incredibly long time.
100 years.
Yes.
And he's
our track program is extremely consistent, and that has a lot to do with the coaches that have been here. Consistently successful. Fun to watch. Extremely talented recruits.
Yeah, 42 years. Clyde Hart was here 42
years. That's almost completely unheard of when you talk about college athletics.
You know who he coached?
Michael Johnson.
Michael Johnson.
Yes, absolutely. You
Fastest man in the world.
Fastest man in history in Olympic. But if you know your Baylor history, he's one of the most famous Baylor grads of all time. One of the most famous Baylor
far and
athletes
away.
of all
like
time.
Chip and Joanna?
Yeah.
Michael Johnson.
Michael Johnson.
Gold medal.
Robert Griffin's in there somewhere.
You got a little bit of Jeff Dunham action. Some Angela Kinsey, if you will. Willie Nelson.
Office. Big Office fans around here, I'm figuring out.
Willie Nelson spent a small time.
Willie Nelson was
Baylor.
here for a little bit with the football program, wasn't he?
He was. Rand Paul got an MBA from Baylor.
Rand Paul. You see, you're dishing out these things. It's blowing my mind.
How about a little bit of what's his name? He was here for David Crowder. Went to Baylor.
David Crowder.
He did.
Christian singer.
Didn't he start UBC, the church?
Maybe.
I think he founded it. Or
probably so.
Put that out on the polls, Armstrong. Let's see.
Yeah.
Let's see what the people
answer this question.
Did he start it? Yes or no? People get to vote. Also, today's up-temp polls.
Somebody look it up for us.
Our Bear games today. Our Bear games today. I just saw your tweet, Armstrong, on the Uptempo account about which they prefer, the fastest 3 hours in radio or a Baylor take on your lunch break.
How many votes do we have?
We have 2 votes.
2 votes, baby.
The WAC added 5 teams. Do you care? That poll is now tight.
If you're a real, genuine college athletics fan, I feel like you would care about this, especially if you love Texas sports. I mean,
I agree.
I don't know what this means for the Southland Conference. Sam Houston State has been in multiple national championships. They're nationally relevant as far as football goes.
Yep.
This is huge news as far as Sam Houston State, Stephen F. Austin. This is a big 1AA FCS conference in my mind when I think about football.
Yeah, I agree.
I don't really know what this means for the Southland. Obviously, they're going to play this spring.
Right.
But after
Which
that,
is crazy.
I don't
It's like,
know.
hey, we're all jumping ship.
Yeah.
Speaking of, today is
Quite suddenly, too.
Right. Yeah. It's all like they said, hey, we're going to stick around for a while. And they're like, nope, just kidding.
Never mind.
Again, speaking of, today is Benedict Arnold's birthday. Happy birthday, Benedict Arnold.
Happy birthday.
Big day for the Arnold family.
Wherever you may be, Benedict Arnold's happy birthday. This is...
What other birthdays do we have? Do we have any other birthdays? Do y'all do celebrity birthdays?
We do celebrity birthdays every day.
Every day.
And this day in sports history. There's some really good this days in sports history.
Have y'all done
too.
this day in sports history already?
We have not.
No.
We have not done either of those. Those come in the last 5 minutes of the show.
Okay.
Those
Looking
round us
forward to
out.
that.
Who was Baylor's second best football player of the last decade? Today's matchups: Lake Seastrunk and Seth Russell. Seth Russell's currently up 70% to 30%.
Okay.
Seth Russell's a 7 seed. He was a play-in. Worked his way to the 7 seed, beat number 2 Cyril Richardson, who should have beaten Seth Russell, but quarterback bias.
Yeah.
Now he's beating Lake
Definitely
Seastrunk.
quarterback bias.
He should be beating Lake Seastrunk, but he's not. Quarterback bias.
How about two quick stories about these two? Y'all, by the way, are this bracket y'all made? I don't know about the seeding because all these matchups are extremely tough. I can't figure any of them out. Like they're just not clear answers. to me.
I plead innocence. I had nothing to do with it.
No, it's great. Look, now listen here. Lake Seastrunk, I don't know if y'all remember this. When we played at Floyd Casey Stadium, they played Oklahoma State. He scored a 70 or 80-yard touchdown, and the last 40 yards of that run was done with a pulled hamstring.
Yeah, where he's just...
Yes, he just hobbles into the end zone. This guy, he was a legend here at Baylor, and so was Seth Russell. If he stays healthy his last year, Baylor, they're in the mix for the national championship.
And Seth Russell's possibly wins the Heisman.
Yes.
Very well wins the Heisman.
He is that talented of a player, that talented of an athlete. He apparently was one of the best basketball players on the football roster.
Better than Lake Seastrunk, apparently.
Apparently
Lake Seastrunk
Coach Gravano
will
is
shoot
calling
from
you out. Like, he said you take too many shots.
Other bracket matchup, Shock Linwood on top of Bryce Hager. That's expected. So that means Shock Linwood will be facing Seth Russell in the next round, most likely.
That's a big matchup.
That's a
huge matchup.
That's Elite Eight.
Both
quarterback bias.
Yes.
All-time leading rusher.
All-time leading. Shock Linwood was extremely fun to
gotta
watch.
go Shock
I don't know
Linwood.
if y'all remember watching him. But
Do note there is like a quarterback
elusive.
in at least 3 of these quadrants of the bracket. There's a quarterback, so we could have like an all-quarterback Final Four, and it would explode.
You really at some point could make a whole quarterback bracket.
All-time quarterback bracket?
All-time quarterback excluding Robert Griffin, I guess.
Yeah, you would probably have to. Because you're looking at Charlie Brewer is on the bottom. You know a thing or two about Charlie Brewer.
I do,
You played football with Charlie Brewer. Then you got on the top left of the bracket, you have you have Seth Russell. Then you got Bryce Petty is over here as a 1 seed on the other side of the bracket. And yeah, those 3 quarterbacks are all split up. And Nick Florence...
Nick Florence escapes people's minds at some time. You can forget about him, but that guy is a Baylor legend. He still works upstairs in the football facility.
Not upstairs here.
Not upstairs here. We don't even have an upstairs here.
He's not above us. There is an upstairs. The stairs aren't built yet.
There's a former Baylor player that lives up there. I can't remember his name, though.
Well, that's kind of...
literally lives like an...
Is that not weird?
Skylar Wetzel? Is it Skylar Wetzel?
I don't think it's me.
It's not.
Yeah, I don't.
You have information
It's another one. We've had him in studio.
Oh.
Has he?
But he literally lives like directly above me.
He's a former player.
Hey!
Former player, yes.
Okay.
This studio is soundproof.
He's up there.
We
The
soundproof.
studio is not soundproof.
T-Rex is on the Impact
False.
Health Labs caller line. T-Rex, welcome on to Uptempo today, joined by guest host Skylar Wetzel, former Baylor football player by 2 months.
Hey, once a bear, always a bear.
Oh, that's right, T-Rex.
Skylar, life is forever once you put on the green and gold.
Absolutely.
How y'all doing today, gentlemen?
We're doing great. How are you?
It's a wacky day, T-Rex. The WAC has just thrown out. The breaking news today has been insane.
The WAC is back, baby.
The WAC is back, isn't it? That's one way
The
to
WAC never left.
Let's get
basketball.
Hey, let's get that hashtag going, maybe, Armstrong. Maybe people will care about it then.
WAC is back.
The WAC
Hell
is
yeah.
back. Maybe we can start that trend.
I'll ask people for
Hey, I'm all for anything that makes college football better, and especially in Texas. And I think it's a great thing for those schools in Texas. But we've hashed on that a little too much. I'll let the experts such as y'all hash on that. I mean, y'all got freaking commissioners and presidents from colleges and athletic directors from Sugar Bear, Central Arkansas. So, I mean, y'all obviously know more than I do about it. So, good job getting him on Go Sugar Bears. Too bad our basketball team hung 100 on them.
That's true.
But
that's true.
thank you coming in. Anyway, just had to make sure I called in because my boy Skylar's on the call today.
Talk to T-Rex yesterday. I made sure that he tuned in.
Oh, he's
always tuned in. He's always committed to this. I appreciate the heck out of this guy.
Real quick, C-Strunk didn't pull his hamstring, actually. It was his quad.
Quad?
I only know that
this is the kind of stuff that we get from T-Rex.
Did an interview with him earlier in the year, and he actually said that it was his quad, which I thought it was his hamstring forever. But not that matters. I just wanted to, I'm me, and I got to correct people when I can.
Thank you for that, T-Rex. That's actually useful information. I don't want to keep telling that story if I have the wrong muscle.
No, he made Smokey did a good interview with him, so shout out to you, to the flagship 365 Radio. If it wasn't for 365, then I wouldn't be able to correct up tempo. So, it is what it is. It's all one big round circle.
Boom.
We're all in here together. Cue the music. Anyways, good job. I appreciate y'all getting a women's coach on, just like y'all had Woodson on, I believe, the day before. So shout out to them. I got a good feeling. Contrary to popular belief, I'm not just a football guy or basketball. I love tennis. I don't really understand it. But the Big 12 allows you to essentially heckle during Big 12 conference matches. So that's pretty cool. Look up the rule. It's actually a rule that the fans are allowed to heckle during tennis matches. There are some specifics about it. Can't be in the middle of a serve or anything. But,
okay. I was going to ask what are the specifics.
The fan engagement.
I was going to ask you what the specifics are of this whole heckling rule.
For my knowledge, based on personal experience, as long as you're not screaming and shouting during the actual the serve or the actual point, I guess as they say. I never played tennis. I took racket sports twice in college on purpose though, not because I failed it. So you can in between the serves and everything, you can cheer and yell and the issue is there's not that many people there so they can hear you, but that's never stopped me before. So
yeah, not a whole lot does stop you though, T-Rex. Not a whole lot stops you,
big dude.
Hey, anything that involves running will stop me.
Oh, okay. Got you. Running's the kryptonite.
So if you see me running, keep up because something's going down.
Running is T-Rex kryptonite. Got that noted.
T-Rex, do you want to play some Bear games?
It is what it is. That and food that doesn't taste good. Bear games, let's go.
Woo! Shock Linwood or Bryce Hager?
Shock Linwood.
Shock Linwood. I like it.
Confident answer. To
Lake,
the point. I like it.
C-Strunk or Seth Russell?
Hey, C-Strunk, quad squad.
Yes.
Boom.
Quad squad.
If you could kick one team out of the Big 12, who you giving the boot?
Oh, I already know his answer.
Kick out?
Oh,
We're
kicking out today.
Kick out?
Actually, I don't know your answer, T-Rex.
Do I personally get to deliver the severance letter?
Oh, you do.
Yes,
you get
definitely.
to deliver it all the way to Ames, Iowa.
Ames, Iowa. T-Rex.
Yes, sir. Let's go. I'm on the next flight out. Let's go.
You
Come
have
on,
been
Bob.
served.
Give me the go-ahead. I'll
T-Rex
deliver it.
is taking
Certified
out
no.
Ames. That's so good. T-Rex,
huge
thanks for your
Cyclone
call.
Hey, I appreciate y'all. The future is bright. SicEm Bears. We're going to win a natty in every sport this spring.
Absolutely, we will. Thank you, T-Rex. Always
T-Rex.
appreciate you.
What are the odds? You know what? Coming back out of the break, we're going to talk about that. We got a couple other things here. An article released today on the SicEm365 fan forum. Evaluating the transfer portal for quarterbacks is a possibility for Baylor. More on that next, alongside what are the odds Baylor sweeps the Natties in this spring? I'm Drake Toll, Skylar Wetzel, Armstrong Sims. This is Up Tempo.
At Baylor University, students can shine in their own way. Or should we say their own ways? Because there's no limit to the ways Baylor students make the world a brighter place. Whether they're leading a student organization or following a higher calling, getting advice from faculty, or taking part in world-class research, pursuing their dreams, or working toward their dream job, students find their place to shine at Baylor, where lights shine bright.
Riverbend Liquor and Wine has their easy-to-access drive-thru open and convenient and clean in-store location on the corner of Lakeshore Drive and North 19th Street in Waco. Riverbend Liquor has the best and most extensive variety of craft beer selections in Waco, and Balcones whiskey, including single malt, pot still, baby blue, rye, brimstone, and the all-new lineage in stock. Riverbend Liquor and Wine, family-owned and operated, and a hidden gem in Waco on Lakeshore Drive and 19th Street. And find out more on Facebook and Instagram.
From the first workout to the last practice, sports is an incredible challenge. Hi, this is Danning with the First National Bank of Central Texas, and we're proud to support each athlete, every parent, and our educators. From families, small businesses, to the biggest industry, we're here to help. With remarkable products like instant issue debit cards free at all of our banking centers, we've got banking ideas that fuel big dreams. The First National Bank of Central Texas. Familiar faces making local decisions.
Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Let Camille Johnson Realtors guide you seamlessly through the process of buying your dream home or selling your current one. Commercial, farm and ranch, or residential, Camille Johnson Realtors can smoothly and successfully lead you through any transaction. With a team of 28 experienced agents who are excited about serving you, Camille Johnson Realtors services the entire greater Waco area. If you're in the market to buy or sell, contact Camille Johnson Realtors, 104 Midway Center in Woodway, or find them online at www.camillejohnson.com. Camille Johnson Realtors, elegant, charming, warm. Welcome home.
Waco Custom Marketplace is your home for holiday favorites for parties and the time with family. Various specials available in-store and online. A variety of steak gift boxes with 4 ribeyes for $70, 4 bacon wrapped fillets for $55, or 4 New York strips for $50, and all come with steak butter. Fall snack box for watching a game or wrapping presents or hosting people at your house, including summer sausage, split horn, and jalapeno cheese, and salted crackers for only $35. 2 pieces of lobster tails with herb butter and 2 bacon wrapped fillets for $60. Order online or call in advance to ensure availability, or drop by Waco Custom Marketplace at 425 Lake Air Drive. Waco Custom Marketplace has a full-service butcher shop for customized orders or cuts of your favorite steaks or beef tenderloin or specially ordered prime rib roast. Plus, what you want with pork, poultry, seafood, and more. Waco Custom Marketplace, 425 Lake Air Drive in Waco, or WacoCustomMarketplace.com.
Welcome back to Up Tempo on SicEm365 Radio. Here's Drake Toll.
Happy Thursday, everybody. Big news out of college sports today. The WAC is adding 5 teams, including Stephen F. Austin, Sam Houston State, Lamar, and Abilene Christian. Celebrity birthday is coming up later. We also have this day in sports history. How about a couple of athletes coming on too? Sydney Washington of the Baylor track program. They've got a meet coming up this weekend. She joins us at 105. And then at 1:30, Tate Williams, star. You know, he's the number 9 guard in the country in this recruiting class.
This is a big get for our offensive line. He'll be a great addition.
Him and Grant Miller. Tate Williams can play right away.
I think he can compete right away. Absolutely. He's got the athleticism to do it. Obviously got the size to do it if you've seen the kid on social media. And, you know, he's got a great personality, too.
Oh, yeah.
You'll have fun talking to him.
I'm excited. Here's him and a watermelon and a 46-year-old man. That is Tate's uncle to his right.
Yeah.
His uncle he's a shorter guy in comparison to some. You know, I'm 6'4". His uncle is only 5'10".
Yeah, and that's one of those specially grown watermelons. Those weigh like 600 pounds, I think.
650.
Yeah.
650.
650, that's what it is.
Yeah, that is one of the smaller ones at 625. But still, you can't discount the guy's size. Tate Williams joins the show.
A farmer himself, also. I don't know if you've seen his Twitter feed.
Cow.
But he drives a tractor. Like
a combine. He's got videos of him on the combine, like God's work. Like it is.
Yeah. So he not only plays football, he farms. He's a versatile kid. He hunts too.
I want that in the trenches. I want that in the trenches.
That's what you want. You want blue collar kids. Get down and dirty.
Like, where are you from? Oh, I'm from downtown Orlando, and I play defensive tackle.
I don't know.
Where are you from? I am from Timbuktu. I can drive a combine.
Wall, Texas. Look, watch this video. Watch him in the paint. Grab a rebound.
The hands.
Put it back up, and the and one.
Oh,
and then he's going to celebrate with his teammates.
And he's going to sink the free throw.
Push his
Look at that.
teammates
The
over.
hype. Look at that. That's That's a grown man.
I wonder what he looked like at the free throw line, though, Tate. Are you a good free throw shooter? We'll have to see. We'll have to ask you about this.
I bet he sunk the free throw.
I bet he did, too. He's got some swagger to him.
Tate Williams joins the show later on today. Tate, an absolute animal, will be in the trenches next year for Baylor. Again, number 9 guard in the entire country. Can you like corn-fed? Is that how we...
That's how it works in the small-town Texas scene. He's from Wall, Texas, the Wall Hawks. Shout out to small-town Wall, Texas.
The Wall Hawks.
Yes, sir.
Wow. We should have said Hawks yesterday when we played the green and blank game because Wall was one of the words. Nobody had that one on there, though.
Great football program down there, small-town Texas. Absolutely.
Oh,
great history to that program.
All right, elsewhere today, Mac McClung last night, ice in his veins. But it's just how the confidence that Chris Beard at Texas Tech had in his shooter, Mac McClung. McClung's coming down the court. Instead of calling a timeout, Chris Beard says, take it.
Let players play. That's what he did. And he went out and made a play. Shook up the entire conference.
Got it. Mac McClung, 4-3, knocking off the old Texas Longhorns. Did I say 72-70?
Guy can ball.
Did I say that earlier, Armstrong? I'm pretty sure that's the score that I said, and that's not what the score was.
It's not the score at all.
For those that are still hanging on to us, some score was 72-70.
That's impressive.
It may have been Kansas and Oklahoma State.
Play.
We'll figure out. There's a lot of numbers going through here on Uptempo, but insane shot by Mac McClung. Kahunas. That is the word of the day. Kahunas. Ginormous. The guy just to take that shot.
Wanted the ball. That's the kind of player you want on your team.
Called for it.
He wanted the ball. Give me the ball. Let me ISO this guy.
We promised it. We're going to talk about it. How about this? We got the question, will Baylor win? Could they? Could they win? Could they sweep the national championship in every spring sport?
Could they? Absolutely. The better question is probably, will they? As a Baylor fan, I'm going to say yes.
T-Rex would say yes.
I think hope and optimism is always a great thing.
Yeah,
I think we can do it. Why? I don't see why not. Why not us? Why not Baylor University?
So like men's tennis, women's tennis, obviously those are going to be contributors that could both win conference championships, or you heard Coach Scrivano say we're getting there. You know, that they're not there yet, but they're getting
obviously there. Brutally honest, but talking to Coach Scrivano, he's one of the best in the profession, and you would never know just how humble he is. Obviously he's got some great talent on his roster. He's got a great assistant coach, great assistant staff. I mean, he's going to do a great job. I think he was being extremely modest, excuse me. But I mean, I feel like that's what you have to do as a coach.
True. And how about men's golf? Oh, they play in the Cabo Collegiate. Guess where that is? Guess where that is?
I think it's in Cabo.
It's in San Antonio.
Oh,
the same as
that's my hometown. Shout out to San Antonio,
Texas. Was the Maui Invitational this year was in Asheville, North Carolina,
and wasn't what was the bowl game? That the bowl was in, and it was played somewhere completely different.
It was the New Mexico Bowl.
Yeah, they played the New Mexico Bowl in Frisco.
The Frisco, New Mexico Bowl.
It's
same
just
thing.
a COVID year. It's making everything really
Men's
confusing.
golf plays the Cabo Collegiate in San Antonio, Texas.
Now, is this usually in Cabo?
I would like to assume that they don't brand it as welcome to the New York City basketball tournament in Fayetteville, North Carolina. Nice. They got the T-shirts and everything.
San Antonio Tech. What does it say? What golf course they're playing at?
TPC.
Yeah, TPC. That's a great course. So, beautiful place out there.
Men's golf, women's golf, Columbia, South Carolina Invitational later on this season. But the point was, both of those schools. What am I?
Programs.
Both of those teams.
I knew what you meant.
Could win national championships. Cooper Dossie on the men's side. The men's golf team.
Extremely
They've
talented.
spent some time at number one.
TPC what?
TPC
San Antonio.
That's what it's. Come on, Armstrong.
Yeah,
well, TPC is just a term it means Tournament Players Club.
Oh.
It's just in general. It means
You see, though, if you're from San Antonio, I feel like somebody says TPC.
local.
I'm like, oh, okay, yeah. I
But
know
like
what you're
all
talking
like
about.
professional
I didn't
courses,
know that though.
Like TPC.
I've never even asked what TPC stands for. I probably should have.
The professional club, is that what you said?
I think it's Tournament Players Club.
I'm impressed.
I would never play there because I'm
a
not
golf
good
guy.
enough to play at a course like that.
Right.
I wouldn't
Softball,
wanna
baseball, though?
Yeah.
Baseball receiving votes right now, top 35 in the country. I think they were ranked at number 35 in D1 baseball. So they're a tournament team this season. A lot of good young talent coming back from last year's squad. They're going to be solid. I think it may take some time to put it all together, but Coach
You
Rod,
never know with baseball. You get into the playoffs, you never know. People beat,
Coastal Carolina winning
look at that.
winning the Natty 5 years ago.
Big 12 baseball is huge. We got great teams in the Big
Baseball
12.
is really
Great
good.
coaches,
Second best
great
conference in
players.
the country, right behind the SEC. Big 12 softball, really good as well. But Baylor softball, Gia Rodoni coming back.
Coming back, which is huge news. She's going to be a great
Insane.
addition. Yes.
She's spectacular. She will be an All-American. Gia Rodoni back for Baylor.
Really fun to watch.
They've got Sydney Holman-Manziel, who is a pitcher for the softball team that can throw like 71, 72 miles an hour,
Golly.
which is the equivalent
Underhanded.
to like a 103 mile an hour fastball in the
Yeah.
major leagues. Gia Rodoni tops out in the low 60s, sometimes mid 60s, even in the high 50s. And she can work around batters like maybe no one else in the country.
The most important thing with her is she's won so many games.
Yeah.
So much experience comes back with her.
Her
And
spin,
the leadership,
the control, the spin. She's a 6th year. She's a 6th year.
Yeah. Has a brother on the football team.
Oh,
by the way.
Thor?
Thor
What a
Rodoni,
name.
our deep snapper.
What a name.
Our PAT field goal snapper did a great job for us.
Those
this
too
year.
about that. That's the deep snap.
You need to have him on. He
Thor?
would be extremely entertaining. He would love to do this.
We love
Thor, shout out. I'm getting you on the show.
our Thor.
Do it.
That's the formal invitation.
Maybe y'all can do this since the spring sports are coming up. You have Thor and Gia on at the same time. How fun would that be?
That'd be
Talk a
neat.
little football.
We've already done
talk
some
a little
sibling
softball.
stuff this week.
do
That'd
a
be
little
awesome.
Sibling type thing.
How about Matt in DC says this is a kangaroo bracket! Exclamation point, Matt in DC.
What does that mean?
I don't know.
Kangaroo bracket.
Do we want to ask that question? I feel like that could go
Do we
like to
even
a
wanna
really
ask?
like dark alleyway
Kangaroo bracket.
on where that's going. This also says good to see Skylar Wetzel in the studio.
It's good to see you, whoever that is.
Oh,
Even though I don't
yeah,
see you.
this is
it's good to hear
Sarah.
from you.
Sarah, the
Sarah.
Double Bear. She said good to see Skylar Wetzel.
Sarah Double Bear, thank you so much.
Skylar Wetzel
for that shout
played
out.
football for Baylor like a month and a half ago.
Yeah.
This
not that
guy,
long ago.
when Baylor beat Kansas State,
I was on the field.
John Mayer's field goal,
Yeah.
this guy was a part of that.
I was a part of it.
He not only did he see it, he was on the field for it.
Yeah.
This guy's on up tempo. Skylar Wetzel joining us as a guest host today. T-Rex
I'm
says,
honored to be here.
Don't forget soccer and volleyball. That I'm glad we
Soccer
got
and
there.
volleyball.
Play spring
Volleyball isn't
seasons.
now. Drake, can you explain this to me? Volleyball isn't done with their season.
No,
Is that-
volleyball plays like they're going to go like another conference slate, non-conference. They're going to play the national championship this spring. Soccer's going to do kind of the same thing.
Volleyball is playing their national championship this spring. Okay, that makes sense now.
Yeah, I there's a lot going into that. I'm not positive what exactly. We talked to Coach McGuire yesterday, and he said it's going to be a lot different, but that he's used to the spring sports from Cal Baptist, and that volleyball in the spring is going to be different, but he's ready for it and excited for it, and so I guess I am too.
I'm looking forward to watching that. I love watching our volleyball team. They're extremely talented. Got a few friends on that team. Shout out to
ABCA
Emily Van Slate, Bree
National
Coleman.
Player of the Year too. Come
Yeah.
on.
I mean, I'm telling you, they're a fun team to watch. It's going to be fun. Watching the
Yassiana
spring.
Presley coming back. Just a loaded team. Up next on Uptempo, though, we got Sydney Washington, a star for the Baylor women's track program, 2020 All Big 12 Indoor, 2020 All Academic Big 12 First Team Outdoor All American. We had an Olympian the other day. How about an All-American added to the list here on Uptempo? Sydney
All-American
Washington.
This will be fun.
She is joining us up next. I'm Drake Toll. That's Skylar Wetzel. Armstrong Sims. Little bit of Armstrong's Minute. This is Uptempo.
It was another wild night in college basketball, spearheaded by Mac McClung and number 15 Texas Tech, who went on the road and used the late-game heroics to erase a 12-point deficit and beat fourth-ranked Texas 79-77.
Nope. He's going to play it out. I like it. On the road. McClung for the win. Oh, my goodness. Mac McClung with 2.2 left.
Elsewhere in the nation, number 16 Louisville knocked off Wake Forest by 12 on the road. Number 18 Virginia beat Notre Dame 80-68 at home. Number 21 Ohio State beat Northwestern 81-71 in Columbus. And LSU jumped out to a historic 44-13 lead en route to beating Arkansas 92-76. In college football, Texas has solidified their offensive coordinator in Kyle Flood, who spent time as a head coach at Rutgers and was later an assistant with Sarkisian for the Atlanta Falcons and at Alabama. Flood will also serve as the team's offensive line coach, and Sarkisian is expected to remain the team's primary play caller. Alabama has also narrowed down a hire, as sources report that they are finalizing a deal to make former Houston, Texas head coach Bill O'Brien their offensive coordinator. I'm Armstrong Sims, and that's all the news that is news in college sports. This has been Armstrong's Minute on SicEm365 Radio's Up Tempo.
With so many companies and policies out there, it gets so confusing shopping for insurance, and I never know if I'm getting the policy that's right for me. Luckily, I met the team at the Niche Group Insurance Agency. With the Niche Group, you can go to one company and get access to coverage options from many insurance carriers, and you get to speak to a real person about your specific coverage needs. With the Niche Group, I know I'm getting the right coverage at the right price. If you need insurance, talk to the experts at the Niche Group at 1-800-258-8302.
Southwest Sports Medicine and Orthopedics, the team physician of Baylor Athletics. Our doctors specialize in the diagnosis and treatment of any and all sports-related injuries. Celebrating over a decade of service in Central Texas, our doctors are equipped to handle a wide range of issues, whether it's your foot or ankle, orthopedic spine care, your hand or wrist, knee and shoulder pain, or if you're in need of our arthritis or total joint clinic. Come see us at the new Baylor Scott and White Ted and Sue Getterman Sports and Orthopedic Center. Trusted doctors at Baylor Trust, Southwest Sports Medicine and Orthopedics. Our goal is to get you back in the game.
Hey, this is Bryce Petty, former starting quarterback and two-time Big 12 champion, and I know firsthand the importance of being in top shape both on and off the field. So listen up, men. If you're feeling beat down day in and day out and looking for that high-performance edge that separates the men from the boys, then look no further than the Petty Clinic Low T in Waco. Petty Clinic is a comprehensive men's healthcare clinic with an atmosphere catering to men. Board-certified Dr. Kent Petty has a special interest in offering the highest quality medical care to men of all ages. Some of the services offered include screening and treatment for low testosterone or thyroid, infertility, high blood pressure, diabetes, high cholesterol, sleep apnea, while offering comprehensive wellness exams and complete men's health lab panels. High performance men, remember, it's not just a Petty thing. This is Bryce Petty, encouraging you to reach out and Google search Petty Clinic Low T or go to pettycliniclowt.com and get your complimentary lab screening today.
You want to know why Stonewood Dental is so successful? Listen to what happy customers have to say.
It's pleasant. It's different than any other dentist office. I really feel like they care. And it's not that you're here for 2 hours waiting on someone to take care of you. It's quick and easy, and I bring my kids, and my kids love being here too. They really love the treasure box. Staff is really nice and accommodating, real friendly. You feel more like home. It's not sterile looking. Everybody has their own personalized rooms with decorations and decor, and they'll even have a blanket for you when it's cold. I've recommended people to actually come here, and they are patients now. I really love it here. It feels like family.
Learn more, stonewood-dental.com.
Welcome back to Up Tempo on SicEm365 Radio. Here's Drake Toll.
All right, welcome back into the Petty Clinic Low T Bears Den. Drake Toll alongside Armstrong Sims. Skylar Wetzel just joined us as a guest host in the studio. I like that, Armstrong. Former Baylor football player Skylar Wetzel. Now we have a current Baylor athlete. How about Sydney Washington joining the show today from the Baylor track and field team? Sydney, thanks so much for coming on.
Thank you so much for having me.
Sydney, a senior, all Big 12 indoor, all Big 12 academic, outdoor All-American in 2019, the 4x400. The accolades, the list goes on and on. You've had a great, great collegiate career, Sydney.
Thank you.
Yeah, and happy to bring you on here today, too, and get your thoughts as this season kicks off. We'll start here. You're about to run in the first meet of this 2021 bout this weekend. How excited are you to get back out there after last season kind of fell through?
I'm super excited to go into this first meet. I think we're all just ready to have the first meet underneath our belt and just see if we even remember how to compete anymore.
And for you in practices and kind of along those lines with remembering how to compete, how difficult or different have practices been for you with COVID?
Since coming back, I think if anything, I have more of an appreciation for practice. I really miss being able to work out with my teammates. So I feel like I'm more excited every day I come out here.
And then for you this weekend, how is it going to look different from a meet standpoint, trying to meet COVID guidelines and protocol?
It's definitely going to be very strange, especially the 4x4, not being able to have a lot of fans out there. I hope I'm not going to be so quiet I can hear my own breath. But I don't know. It's going to take some getting used to, but I'm so excited to just be able to run.
Now, have you gotten the information on what exactly you will be running this weekend, what that'll look like with days for you, when you'll run, and who you'll be with?
Yeah, it's a one-day meet. So I will do the 60 in the morning, and I'll do the 4x4 by the end of the day.
Gotcha. And looking forward to the teams that are showing up this weekend, the athletes that maybe you've competed against that you'll see. What's your outlook for the weekend? Is this a meet that you expect to place well in or maybe even win?
Yeah, I'm definitely hoping to place well. I'm definitely looking more for the time just to see where I'm at. And I think it's going to be really good for us to see how we stack up against the other Big 12 teams that are going to be out there. So you know how we rank in conference starting out.
Yeah. So right here we have indoor, your personal best, 60 meter is 7.33, 200 meter is 23.68, outdoor, 100 meter at 11.58, your 200 meter at 23.81. With those right there, I know those are coming from last year or years past. Where are you with times right now?
I don't know the time exactly, but I think I'm faster. So I think that I'm going to have a good year.
I love it. Now, when COVID hit, what did you do to keep practicing, to still run, to stay in shape and try to cut those times down and continue to get better when you're at home?
I'm really lucky because at home I have a sister who is an OU track and field athlete. And I have a brother who just committed to Texas to do jumps. So we got to work out all together. It was a lot of fun because I definitely miss like having my brother and sister around me. So that's what I did. I trained with them and it was pretty cool.
Wow. Now for you and that training experience, was that just so different? Do you feel like it made you better or maybe you're a step or two behind because you had to adjust to so much?
You know, I think I knew going in that it's hard to work out as intensely at home than it is with your teammates. So one of the things I did was like, okay, I can take a step back and really work on my form. So I kind of broke some different things down, that mechanics I saw that were wrong in my running. And maybe it was a little bit slower, but I'm hoping that now it's going to make me faster.
Walk me through, too, when you got to move on from working out at home and being with your siblings, then to seeing your team again. Because thinking back to last spring and when everything fell apart, it was months before you got to be back with your squad. When you saw your fellow athletes back at Baylor, what was that moment like?
It was fun. It was so much fun to see everybody back again and to train with them again. We were just like, man, I miss like being able to laugh and talk with y'all before practice. I feel like when it comes to track, nobody really wants to just go running. So it's the teammates that makes it fun. It makes it worth it. So it's definitely happy to be back in Waco.
Do you feel like from a team standpoint, too, being one of those older leaders for the squad, that this team is as good as they were last year, on par, or maybe even better?
I think we're better. And I think that, look, we got a big freshman class, and they've already contributed to the team. They've already made it a more intense working environment and pushed us. And I'm really excited to see how they do the first meet, too, because I think they're going to be some huge assets to the team.
Yeah, it was Coach Harbour told us yesterday that freshman class is really going to help anchor this team and lift you guys in conference play and on the national scale too. So in your opinion, and I know this is a loaded question, but when it comes to national championship conversation, how close are you guys to being crowned kings of women's track and field?
That's such a hard question to answer before we had the first meet, but I think we're closer than we think we are. I think that when we have the first meet, I think some people are going to surprise themselves, and I think we might surprise a lot of other teams that have counted us out. So I definitely think we have a chance. I think we have a fighting chance.
Yeah. with this meet this weekend and finally getting to go back out there with your team, and I'm sure there's just a lot of jitters and excited jitters and nerves coming in for you and your squad. Who all is going to be at the meet, and what do you expect to see from the field?
As far as the teams I know, the ones I remember, I know Texas is going to be there, and of course I know Tech is going to be there. So I think can you repeat the question one more time?
Yeah. So basically, of those teams coming in, what do you expect? Have you run against a couple of those teams before? Are there familiar foes that you're squaring off with this weekend?
Oh, yes. Those two teams are definitely teams that scored very highly in conference. I'm pretty sure Texas won the whole thing on the girls' side. So those are teams that we got to be able to compete with in order to be successful. So I definitely think those are people that we're going to be watching out with, whoever's in our heat from there.
That is the Corky Classic this weekend in Lubbock, Texas for the men's track and field team. We're joined right now by Sydney Washington coming on, a track star for Baylor, All-American, All-Big 12, All-Big 12 academic. Sydney, the accolades go on and on. For you, what are your expectations for this season? Have you set any personal goals coming into the year?
I definitely want to be indoor All-American this year and outdoors. So that's kind of decent, I would say, for my personal goals. And I want our team to definitely be a fighting contender for a national championship and just bring a whole bunch of people to nationals.
Talk to me, too, about Coach Harbor and how big he has been, not only in your track career, but for the team as a whole. Is he pushing you to hit those goals?
He definitely is. Coach Harbor has been very involved. He's out there pretty much every day at practice, watching to see what the sprinters are doing, what the jumpers are doing, just trying to make sure that everybody's on track and doing what they need to do to be successful.
Yeah. One of the questions that we asked him that had come up in the show earlier this week is the strategy that goes into track that people might not think about. What are some of the strategies or the amount of strategy, how much strategy, I should say, goes into the sport of track and field?
I definitely think that track has a lot of strategy to it just because it is such a mental sport. So you got to make sure that you're continuously improving and doing the little things that you need to do to be successful, because at the end of the day with track, all you have is your body. So you have to definitely make sure you're being on top of your eating, your sleeping, and your mental in order to be successful on the track.
And something that I've always been kind of interested in with the track and field team and Coach Harbor kind of being the umbrella over both programs on the men's and women's side, how close, how tight-knit are those two groups between the men and the women?
We're really close. We have a lot of fun together. It's fun having the guys out there for sure. Well, I mean, when we get to the track meets, of course, it's definitely separate. Like, their points don't count for us, but the guys, they still push us. So, like, I'll watch when the guys run really fast, and it gets me hyped up to go do the same thing. So we definitely encourage each other together, support each other. It's a lot of fun.
Are there any competitive rivalries between the two teams? I know it's got to stay mostly friendly, but do you guys jar at each other every now and then?
There's definitely a lot of rivalries when it comes to spades and a lot of different card games that we play that could get very intense between us.
Wow. So for the road trip to Lubbock, and you guys headed off the Corky Classic this weekend, what's the travel itinerary look like? When do you guys head off?
We go tomorrow morning.
Tomorrow morning.
We Saturday, all day. Yeah.
Now, your go-to, I know this isn't one of our Bear Games questions, but it could apply. Your go-to restaurant, if you had to pick where the team could eat every time, and I'll tell you this, our producer Armstrong was in band in high school, and he hates Schlotzsky's now because they ate Schlotzsky's for every single band trip they went on, and it's the bane of his existence.
Oh my gosh, it's the worst place ever.
But for you, if you had to pick a restaurant where you're taking the whole team to on a track meet travel road trip, where are you going?
Okay, so this question is difficult to answer because on the way there is different from on the way back.
Okay, walk me through it.
Okay, on the way there, I would probably say Jason's Deli because they got a whole salad bar, and if I just want a little ice cream that's not gonna kill me before my meet, I could do that. But on the way back, I definitely am wanting a burger and a shake and some fries. Yeah. So I'm gonna say Red Robin would definitely be my go-to after a track meet.
Now, since I'm assuming you haven't got to pick your entire career, at least at Baylor, where the team eats, what is Coach Harbor's favorite spot to take the squads?
I know that when we have, I think if he just could have a choice based on the routes, Coach Harper is a Rudy's man. Whenever we have our team group sub, it's always Rudy. So I think that's what he would like to eat.
Is the team sick of Rudy's yet?
I don't know about the team, but it's not my choice.
You guys, look, Sydney, I have like 4 barbecue places ranked before Rudy's on my Waco barbecue list. I hope you agree with that.
I'm gonna have to put him on something else.
Oh my goodness. Okay, then give me that too. We're so going on a rabbit trail here, but Sydney, where's your go-to barbecue in Waco then?
In Waco, Dan's Barbecue. It's this little shop off of Valley Mills. It's bomb. It's got fried okra, ribs, everything. Love Dan's. That's probably where I'm going.
Uncle Dan's Barbecue, man. We are big fans of Uncle Dan's on this show. And we've been talking restaurants the past couple weeks with new hires on the offensive staff for the football team. And just trying to give those guys recommendations of where to go. But I'm close to the very end of my line of questioning. I know we got a little bit off topic there, but both your parents, they're Texas grads.
Yes.
They're bleeding that burnt orange, which, but you didn't go. You went to Baylor. You're here. You're at the good place. What is it? Heaven is green and gold? I don't know. What do they say? It's probably terrible. Something like that. What went into your decision to be a Baylor Bear? Why Baylor?
You know, I really had a good connection with Coach Ford during my recruiting. And when I talked to him, it was just very easy. Like, one conversation I always bring up, I just remember, like, talking to him. He was trying to, like, build this chair. So I was just talking to him. He's talking to me about the instructions and how you can't find the pieces of this chair to build. I was just like, oh, this is fun. This is easy. I was like, this is definitely something somewhere I could see myself for all 4 years. And I didn't disappoint my parents as much as my sister did going to OU. So
that's true.
That is a bigger.
But you said your brother is going to be on the track and field team at UT, correct?
Yes, he had to hold it down for the family.
Holy cow. So the Washington family is now just spread out amongst the Big 12 and track and field.
Yes.
Wow. Well, Sydney, congratulations so far on all the accolades in your career. And I know there are many more to come this season. We on Uptempo are very big. We're becoming a track show. 3 days in a row now that we've had somebody Baylor track related on the show. And we're really glad you got to be a part of that.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely. That's Sydney Washington of the Baylor women's track and field team. Sydney and the team competing this weekend at the Corky's Classic in Lubbock, Texas. Thank you again, Sydney, and we look forward to having you on hopefully again soon.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely. Bye. Armstrong, man, great coaches, great athletes all around. Bring it on. I'm Drake Toll. That's Armstrong Sims. We're getting up close to a break right now, but we got Tate Williams, who's coming on the show here at 1:30. He's going to help anchor us out in this hour. Tate Williams, the number 9. Did you know this? The number 9 overall guard in the nation, Armstrong. 24/7 Sports, Tate Williams joins us.
I did not know that.
How? I've said it like 3 times this show.
I mean, I knew it prior to you saying it that one time, but I didn't know it prior to the show.
Tate Williams out of Wall, Texas is 6'4", 264. The West Texas Lineman of the Year.
Yes.
6'4" guard. 4-star, 24/7 composite. Ranked number 139 overall nationally, 23rd in the state of Texas. He is signed to play for Baylor, the Baylor Bears. Really had to pick the letter. You know who else was on his list that recruited him really hard? TCU. And you know where he didn't go? The WAC or TCU. He didn't go to, you know what? That should have been today's Bear Games question. If you could send one Big 12 team to the WAC, who would it be and why?
Tomorrow.
That's tomorrow. As that news broke today as well, I don't think we didn't break it.
No, we didn't break it.
But I feel like we did a better job. Find me a different national radio program that covered the breaking news of the WAC adding 5 teams better than Uptempo today.
You'd be hard pressed to find
You would
that.
be very hard pressed. Speaking of, let's check our Uptempo polls, Armstrong, if you have those.
Yeah.
One of the polls that we started with today, outside of our Baylor second best bracket, was the poll, the WAC added 5 teams. Do you care? ? That was an Uptempo poll today, an Uptempo poll, if you will. 39% of people said yes. 61% of people said no on the Do You Care the WAC added. That's out of 50 votes. We have the fastest 3 hours in radio or a Baylor take on your lunch break. Which do you prefer? And a Baylor take on your lunch break is winning that.
I think that's obvious.
I like that. Does the hashtag WAC is back make you care about the WAC adding 5 teams?
That's my favorite.
That is leading. 53% of people say yes, that sole hashtag is the reason why they care the WAC has a team. And then in our player bracket matchups, you've got Seth Russell on top of Lake Seastrunk, which is highway robbery, and Shaw Glenwood over Bryce Hager. I'm Drake Toll. That's Armstrong Sims. This is Uptempo. We'll be right back. We'll be joined by Tate Williams, the West Texas Offensive Lineman of the Year and Baylor's biggest, quite literally, signee of this class. I'm Drake Toll, Armstrong Sims. This is Uptempo.
It was another wild night in college basketball, spearheaded by Mac McClung and number 15 Texas Tech, who went on the road and used the late-game heroics to erase a 12-point deficit and beat 4th-ranked Texas 79-77.
Nope, he's going to play it out. I like it. On the road, McClung for the win. Oh, my goodness. Mac McClung with 2.2 left.
Elsewhere in the nation, number 16 Louisville knocked off Wake Forest by 12 on the road. Number 18 Virginia beat Notre Dame 80-68 at home. Number 21 Ohio State beat Northwestern 81-71 in Columbus. And LSU jumped out to a historic 44-13 lead en route to beating Arkansas 92-76. In college football, Texas has solidified their offensive coordinator in Kyle Flood, who spent time as a head coach at Rutgers and was later an assistant with Sarkisian for the Atlanta Falcons and at Alabama. Flood will also serve as the team's offensive line coach, and Sarkisian is expected to remain the team's primary play caller. Alabama has also narrowed down a hire, as sources report that they are finalizing a deal to make former Houston, Texas head coach Bill O'Brien their offensive coordinator. I'm Armstrong Sims, and that's all the news that is news in college sports. This has been Armstrong's Minute on SicEm365 Radio's Up Tempo.
MP Electric has developed a quality-oriented electrical contracting service in more than 20 years in the industry. Led by President Mark Perry, our electricians go through a 5-year apprenticeship program, are licensed by the state of Texas, and getting continuous education annually upon renewal. In great part, the success of MP Electric lies with its management and professional expertise of its employees. All of our employees share a dedication to quality and commitment to serving the needs of our customers. For new construction and remodels, parking lot, lighting and surge protection, landscape lights, security lights, troubleshooting and repairs. For industrial manufacturing, food and beverage, paper and publishing, heavy industry, cement and rock crushing plants, water distribution plants, and utilities. For 20 years, MP Electric has serviced industrial, commercial, and residential products. We do service right. MP Electric Inc. at 1890 Galaxy Road, Waco. MPElectricUSA.com.
When we moved to Texas, we were like fish out of water. We didn't know anyone in our neighborhood until our Texas Farm Bureau insurance agent came to the house. She was so helpful and reassuring, a friendly face with that Texan hospitality I'd heard about. When we purchased a Texas Farm Bureau insurance policy, we knew we were making the right choice. We knew our family would be protected.
Stop by and see our agents at one of our 3 McLennan County locations.
Coverage and discounts are subject to qualifications and policy terms and may vary by situation.
Southwest Sports Medicine and Orthopedics, the team physician of Baylor Athletics. Our doctors specialize in the diagnosis and treatment of any and all sports-related injuries. Celebrating over a decade of service in Central Texas, our doctors are equipped to handle a wide range of issues, whether it's your foot or ankle, orthopedic spine care, your hand or wrist, knee and shoulder pain, or if you're in need of our arthritis or total joint clinic. Come see us at the new Baylor Scott and White Ted and Sue Getterman Sports and Orthopedic Center. Trusted doctors at Baylor Trust, Southwest Sports Medicine and Orthopedics. Our goal is to get you back in the game.
In the market for a quality metal building? Since 1943, Pioneer Steel & Pipe has helped Central Texas residential and commercial customers with metal building design, panel options, building components, and trim options. Pioneer Steel & Pipe's residential line is energy efficient, offers low maintenance, reduces insurance payments, is impact resistant, and carries up to a 45-year limited warranty. In addition, they can also help you find a metal building contractor for your project. Pioneer Steel & Pipe with locations in Waco and Bryan and at pioneersboys.com.
Do you or your kids get nervous about going to the dentist? Stonewood Dental, Dr. Steve Childress, he can help.
I've spent a career taking care of patients who as children had bad experiences, and now they're adults that hate going to the dentist. If I get a kid at 3 years old and they come every 6 months and it's a happy experience, it's normal for them. Now they have an accident at 6 or 7 or 8 at school. Now they have a broken tooth or a trauma. And they have to come here. They're used to lights. They're used to water in their mouth. They're used to experience. They already trust us. It's amazing what we can do with that kid without it being a negative thing. But if I see a 6 or 7 or 8-year-old that's never been to the dentist, and now they have a trauma or an unfortunate unexpected toothache, it's harder to do that for that kid and it not be somewhat of a negative experience. So bottom line is I try to teach kids and adults and teenagers and everybody the way I'd want my family treated, which is where it's a necessary part of life. You just take care of it. It doesn't have to be that big a deal.
Learn more, stonewood-dental.com.
Welcome back to Up Tempo on SicEm365 Radio.
Rounding out a Thursday today, Drake Toll, Armstrong, Sims, a wacky Thursday. The WAC adding 5 teams. That's a highlight of the day. Mac McClung sinks a three-pointer last night to beat Texas. And all we can talk about today is how the WAC added 5 teams, 4 of which come from the Southland Conference, which is imploding before our eyes. Breaking news today. I had fun covering it. Now we're joined by our biggest guest yet. Anybody? Anybody? It was good. That was good. Tate Williams, the West Texas Offensive Lineman of the Year, number 9 guard in the country, Baylor signee, coming on to play for the Bears. Tate, welcome on to Up Tempo.
How you doing today?
Oh man, I'm loving it. Today has been a very good day. Contrary to Stephen A. Smith, today's been a very good day. Glad to have you on the show. So Tate and I were having a conversation on whether or not he was able to come on today, and he was like, "Look, man, I gotta be honest with you. I've got, what is it, 4th period right now?"
Yes, sir. I'm supposed to be in a college algebra class right now, but I went in during one of my activity periods, and I sweet talked my teacher into letting me do this interview. So,
what teacher can we thank? Who can we thank for letting you be on the show?
Well, I want to thank Miss Kim Jordan today.
Miss Kim Jordan is our up-tempo shout-out. She is our person of the day, our bear of the day. Our bear of the day is Miss Kim Jordan for allowing Tate Williams to join the show today. All right, Tate. So we're going to start with some pretty serious line of questioning. We have been told, we have a picture right here, Armstrong. Tate, let me know if you can see this, the watermelon.
He won't be able to see it.
He won't be able to see it? That's okay. So, Tate, there's a picture right now of you with a watermelon on your shoulder. And
yes, sir.
We have been told that the person standing to your right in the baseball pants with the slides and the jersey, we're told that is your 46-year-old uncle, and he's 5'10". Is that correct?
No, that's my quote unquote biggest fan right there. His name's Clayton Drennan. He's a pretty cool little dude.
How old is Clayton and how tall is Clayton? Because he looks about 5'10" in that picture.
I think. Wait, are we talking about the same picture?
Yeah, we're talking about the same picture. We're talking about the same picture.
Okay. I think he's 3rd or 4th grade. I'm thinking 3rd, but I don't know how tall he is, but I mean he's a big personality, that's for sure.
We're gonna stick with 5'10". So you guys, Tate Williams is a mountain of a Paul Bunyan, if you will. Tate, when you heard word that you were the West Texas Offensive Lineman of the Year, what did that mean to you?
You know, it's quite the honor to receive an award like that, and it's it's not. I mean, it's nothing super huge to me. It's because I've got bigger and better things I've got to work towards. But it's you can bask in it for a little bit, but it's another one of those things that people are shooting to come get you for because you're up there. But in my opinion, it puts a bigger target on your back and just more incentive to work harder.
For you too, we've got the new coaching staff that's come in. Jeff Grimes, Eric Mateos, the offensive line coach. How much conversation have you had with those guys that are coming in, and how has that been for you?
I talked to Coach Grimes a little bit over text. I hadn't got on the phone with him yet, but he seems like a pretty good guy from what I've looked into him. I did a little research on him, and the offensive line coach, Coach Mateos, I think he reached out to me. He tried to call me, but it was in the middle of basketball games, and it was pretty late when I got out. So I called him back the next day, but I heard he was getting married. So I understand why he didn't answer my phone call, but I expect to get on the phone with him sometime soon.
Speaking of basketball, Tate, we're playing a video right now on our feed of you the best part of this is you lose the ball. Like, the ball is between your legs, and you have the wherewithal, the hands, the athleticism to grab the ball, go up, land the and one, and this coming from your Twitter right here, meet me in the paint. Yeah, find me a brick wall to run through right now. And one, Tate Williams, you get up and like just walk me through that moment, step by step.
Well, so the game that you're seeing right now is a huge rivalry game. Right now, it's a three-way tie for first place in our district between us, that team you're seeing on the screen, and then the team we're about to play Friday. And it was an extremely tense game. I think we won by 5 or 6. And but that put us up there with them, and nobody was expecting us to beat that team. And the student bodies of both schools know each other really well, so it was a big game for everybody that was involved in it. And so being able to hit that shot and pull us a little further away, get us in the lead was a big deal. So there was a lot of emotion involved in it, as you can tell. But I like to see myself as the hype man of the team, or guy that brings the energy.
Tate, on that play too, tell me, did you sink the free throw, the and one?
I did. And I held up the 3 after it too.
Nice. No, better question though. On the video, one more time, Armstrong, if you will. On the video, you're 6'4". I'll give you 6'6" even. With shoes on, with the right shoes on. We'll say 6'6". As soon as you hit that shot, 2 of your teammates run up to celebrate, and I think you crushed one of them and just threw the other across the gym. Are those guys okay?
Yeah, they're all right. They're used to my bulldozing celebration techniques, but they're all really good teammates, and I love playing with them. They're some good guys.
Oh, my goodness. Now, Tate, for you in the recruiting process, we see on here a lot of different schools came after you. Highly touted, obviously, your rankings, a 4-star coming out of Texas, like Texas high school football. So why Baylor? What made Baylor the destination place for you?
So, Baylor's always kind of been one of my want-to-go-to schools, and my kind of a dream school, if you want to say that. Yeah. But it was never really in the picture just because I couldn't afford it, and it wasn't something that I never really looked into, because I knew that I didn't want to have to worry about that for the rest of my life. And when Coach Blanchard reached out to me for the first time, I was like, hey, I may actually have a chance to go here. So it was a huge deal when I finally got that offer, and I took it the next day. I talked to my coach about it and my parents, and they said, well, that's where you want to go, just let's do it. So. And my parents were extremely supportive, and my head coach, his wife was a Baylor grad, so he's all for it. They have season tickets to all the Baylor games every year, so he was really excited for me, and I've got a whole community backing me up right now, and I think I made the right decision.
And now, Tate, you come from Wall, Texas, the yes, metropolis that is Wall, Texas.
Big city of Wall.
What for Wall and the city, the school? I say city. Yeah, the big city, the school. How huge is it to have an athlete playing Division I football at a school like Baylor? Is that normal, or is this pretty big for the town?
So there, actually, we had one guy. His name was Clayton Weisern, and he went D2 in college. He went to ASU in San Angelo here, and but he went on to play linebacker for the Patriots. He was I think he won a Super Bowl with them too. But he's a big guy. I've met him before. But I'll be the first one to go Division I from Wall in football.
Wow. And let me ask you this too, as we're getting your Zoom feed coming through here. How good is the Wi-Fi /cell service in Wall, Texas?
Well, if I can tell you, there's a cotton field 50 feet from the front door. So if that tells you anything.
Oh my goodness!
We can tell from your internet connection.
Yeah, I don't know if it's ours or his. We'll double blame right here for now. And so, Tate, let me ask you this too. I've got a video here from your Twitter. Looks like you're on a combine. I myself am not very familiar with farm equipment. But are you a farmer? Walk me through this.
Yes, sir. And I think that video you're seeing, I'm on a cotton stripper there.
Not a combine. Come on, Armstrong. Armstrong told me it was a combine.
I plead innocent.
Wow. Cotton stripper?
Yes, sir. No, we've got, yeah. Yes, sir.
Wow.
We've got 2,500 acres of farmland out in El Dorado, Texas. We farm, me and my sister, the watermelon picture you saw, we share a watermelon business in the summers. We grow about 2 acres of watermelons and take anywhere from 1,000.
Jeez. Watermelon farmer, that right there, the pancake machine. Is that like a nickname of yours? We're seeing this on our screen right now. Where did the pancake machine come from?
I don't know where that came from. I think that was the work of Larry McDonald and Coach Nance. They already given me nicknames, but I mean,
wow.
But
so where you're sitting in your off season and the workouts you're still going through there at Wall, I'm sure you stayed in the gym, in the weight room. How, what are your numbers at right now? I assume you can, we found out yesterday, we talked to Kyron Drones and found out the Heisman is 45 pounds. I assume you can lift that 45 pounds.
Oh yeah, maybe a little struggle, but we'll get it up.
Along with that though, really, where your PRs right now from a weightlifting standpoint, where are you?
I can hang clean about 315, bench probably close to the same, and squat about 450. I haven't done deadlifting forever. I've never been a big deadlift guy, but I've never really ever been the strongest guy on the field either. I've just always been able to move it quick, if that makes any sense to you. Like I've got a little bit of an explosive twitch to me, so that's I think that's my biggest advantage when it comes to weight room and being on the football field as well.
Obviously, Tate, you have the size, the physique to be a legitimate Division I college football lineman, and you're getting that opportunity at Baylor. Let me ask you, in high school, you're used to running the football, to run blocking a whole lot of run block schemes and just digging into the trenches. When it comes to pass blocking, how familiar are you with pass blocking? How comfortable are you with switching between the two? And how much of an adjustment is it going to be when maybe Baylor's slinging the ball around a little more than you're used to?
Well, it's going to be a huge adjustment because we don't even have a traditional pass set in our offense. We run the ball almost every play of the game, except we'll throw it maybe 4 times a game just to keep them on their toes. But our pass sets are slide protection. They're not a traditional pass set with a kickback and all that. So we go a lot of weight on our front hand, narrow stances, and fire off the ball fast and low. And so that's going to be a little different for me to adjust to, but I see myself as a pretty quick learner, so I think I'll get the hang of it.
Good. I love that. That was a question we had from Tate Engel, another Tate that sent that one in to us that wanted to know. Good, insightful question. This too, coming into Baylor, what are your expectations playing time early on especially? Have you heard that maybe you've got a shot to compete for a job right now?
So talking to Coach Wickline before this new guy came in, he was telling me he doesn't want anybody coming in with a mindset that they're going to get a red shirt, and he wants you coming in ready to play at all times. So he said, you come in and you bust your tail and get ready to play. He said there's a chance you could play, and he said everybody's starting with a clean slate from this year, judging by what his insight of last year was. But I mean, it all kind of depends on what happens when I show up. Got to show up, work hard, and we'll see what happens.
We also mentioned how if given the chance between an offensive lineman from Wall, Texas, or one from downtown Orlando, we're probably going with the guy from Wall, Texas on the football squad. Let me ask you this. When you hear the words corn-fed, what comes to mind?
A big old beefy country boy.
Would you consider yourself corn-fed?
I like meat and potatoes, but we'll go with corn-fed.
He said, I like meat and potatoes, but we're going corn-fed on Tate Williams. Tate, Geez, man, I love this and having you on the Baylor program. So I myself am also about 6'4", weighing in at around 190. And they asked me to be the starting offensive guard last year, and I politely declined. I am a sophomore right now at Baylor, so I had the opportunity. I still have 4 years eligibility left, too. So you're welcome that I left the spot open for you, and we're excited to have you here in Waco.
Well, I appreciate it.
Absolutely. That's Tate Williams from Wall, Texas, coming on up-tempo today. Baylor's biggest signee, a 4-star, the number 9 guard in the country. Tate, thanks again, and we'd love to have you on again.
Well, I appreciate it. I'd love to be back.
Thanks again. Up-tempo, baby. Athletes, coaches, signees, the athletic director from the University of Central Arkansas. You bring it on. It's up-tempo. Tate Williams, an absolute animal. Armstrong, come on. You saw the picture of him with the watermelon. We now have confirmation that is a 3rd or 4th grader that he's with.
Unfortunately,
but we cannot confirm the height of that 3rd or 4th grader. So we will continue to speculate.
Yes.
We will continue to speculate that right there.
That's a 6-footer.
That is a mountain of a man. I forget. I do this sometimes where I neglect to realize that like I prep or I push the app all the time. So folks that are listening on the app are like, watermelon?
Yeah.
3rd grader? What is he talking about?
Watch us.
And one? Yeah, there's the YouTube. We're on YouTube. Roku. You can do it on your Roku. You can go to your Twitch. It's not Twitch. We're not on Twitch anymore.
We're not on Twitch. We're on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube. Also streaming on SicEm365.com and on the app. You can watch.
Oh, beautiful. All right, here's what we got coming up next. We're going to run through some of the biggest highlights of last night in college athletics. Then we're going to do our celebrity birthdays, this day in sports history as well. Been joined by some great guests today. Glad to have those on. We're going to do it all again tomorrow as well. I'm Drake Toll. That's Armstrong Sims. A little bit of Armstrong's Minute action, and we're coming right back to Up-Tempo.
It was another wild night in college basketball, spearheaded by Mac McClung and number 15 Texas Tech, who went on the road and used the late-game heroics to erase a 12-point deficit and beat 4th-ranked Texas 79-77.
Nope. He's going to play it out. I like it. On the road. McClung for the win. Oh, my goodness. Mac McClung with 2.2 left.
Elsewhere in the nation, number 16 Louisville knocked off Wake Forest by 12 on the road. Number 18 Virginia beat Notre Dame 80-68 at home. Number 21 Ohio State beat Northwestern 81-71 in Columbus. And LSU jumped out to a historic 44-13 lead en route to beating Arkansas 92-76. In college football, Texas has solidified their offensive coordinator in Kyle Flood, who spent time as a head coach at Rutgers and was later an assistant with Sarkisian for the Atlanta Falcons and at Alabama. Flood will also serve as the team's offensive line coach, and Sarkisian is expected to remain the team's primary play caller. Alabama has also narrowed down a hire, as sources report that they are finalizing a deal to make former Houston, Texas head coach Bill O'Brien their offensive coordinator. I'm Armstrong Sims, and that's all the news that is news in college sports. This has been Armstrong's Minute on SicEm365 Radio's Up-Tempo.
With so many companies and policies out there, it gets so confusing shopping for insurance, and I never know if I'm getting the policy that's right for me. Luckily, I met the team at the Niche Group Insurance Agency. With the Niche Group, you can go to one company and get access to coverage options from many insurance carriers, and you get to speak to a real person about your specific coverage needs. With the Niche Group, I know I'm getting the right coverage at the right price. If you need insurance, talk to the experts at the Niche Group at 1-800-258-8302.
It takes time to reach goals. It's a truth that applies to more than sports. It goes for your financial goals as well. You work hard for your money, and you deserve an investment strategy that lines up with your game plan. And Tom Albers, your Edward Jones financial advisor, can help. If your financial investments aren't putting forth the effort you desire, stop by today for a financial review. Tom Albers, 4301 Lakeshore Drive, 254-776-7605. Edward Jones, member SIPC.
Stepping into the boots of a U.S. Army officer can add confidence and leadership skills to your son or daughter's career path. See all the things they can achieve in our boots at GoArmy.com. U.S. Army Waco Recruiting Company, 254-598-8131 or 254-776-1543.
Born in Waco, Brotherwell Brewing exists to serve the Central Texas community with locally crafted beer of the highest quality. They want to bring Central Texas closer to the brewing experience so everyone can enjoy well-made beer as much as they do. For 2.5 years, they've been bringing high-quality beer to Central Texas at their location on Bridge Street in East Waco. And this football season, you need to stop by on game day for curbside pickup or stop by their tent next to SicEm365 at Brazos Parking for your pregame refreshment. Brotherwell Brewing believes in community and bringing people together to enjoy products made in their community. So for your game day, whether it's a tailgate or at home, stop by Brotherwell Brewing for high-quality craft beer made right here in Central Texas, 400 East Bridge Street, and check them out online at brotherwell.com.
Boozers is the wedding ring store and more. If you're ready to get engaged or already married and want to upgrade your wife's ring for a special anniversary, Boozers is the place to go. With the largest selection of premier quality diamond engagement rings and wedding rings in Central Texas. They have 7 cases with over 300 styles of rings from top designers like Natalie Kay. Choose from yellow, white, or rose gold, plus beautiful top quality loose diamonds. With an in-house jeweler, they can also custom make anything you want. Bring in a picture or drawing and let Boozers create your one-of-a-kind pendant or ring. They can even use some of your old gold and diamond jewelry to create something new. At Boozers, you'll find a great selection of quality timepieces, and Boozers is the place for expert watch maintenance and repairs, too. They specialize in expert Rolex watch repair for fine jewelry, watches, custom work, and more. Go to Boozers on Valley Mills and Lake Air Drive in Waco.
Boozers, the wedding ring store.
Car has the trucks, man. They have the one for you. Crew cab, short or long bed, silver, black or blue. Texas size selection, great prices too. Richard Carr, he has the truck for you. Carr has the trucks, man. He has the truck you need. If you want the best truck, you want a GMC. Texas size selection, great prices too. Richard Carr, they have the truck for you.
Welcome back to Up Tempo on SicEm365 Radio.
Holy cow, Armstrong. Get it? It's a punt based off of Tate Williams. That dude, what an animal, man. I'm excited. Not just for that presence on the offensive line, but that personality to be in Waco and to be on the offensive line. All right, Armstrong, what are your takeaways from today? I want to know from you, from where you sit right now, as I'm doing some math right now, what you take away from today's show.
My main takeaway is people don't care about the WAC as much as I do, I guess.
I'm a big WAC proponent after today.
Like, I'm interested in the WAC.
I didn't know the WAC still existed, but it does.
I did have to get on the phone at one break and have my brother explain to me what the WAC was.
What did the press release say? This is not what?
It said this is not the commish said here. I have
the commish said it.
I have your video for you.
Oh, it's
today's announcement during my time in the WAC is not only the most significant but also the most impactful of any of the previous ones, and it's not even close. This is not a routine announcement. This is a historic announcement for the conference.
Oh, yeah. This is not a routine announcement. This is historic.
I can't believe that these things exist. I love the fact that we have a radio show because these things happen and they need to be talked about. For the fact that that man came up and was like, in all my time with the Western Athletic Conference, commonly known as the WAC, some crazy things have happened. But today, this day is the craziest. The WAC today. Like, it's like so serious. It's just so, like, oddly serious. I get it. I get why they're doing it. You're adding 5 teams, but still, the whole, like, I've seen many a moment, none like this. This changes the culture of college athletics. Congratulations to the WAC on adding 5 new teams today and the excitement of the WAC's commissioner. I didn't know the WAC. I love the fact that you could see that guy on an airplane. You're sitting next to him, and he's like, hey, what do you do? And I'm like, oh, well, I'm a college kid. What do you do? Oh, I'm the commissioner of the WAC.
I'm commissioner of the Western Athletic Conference. Ever heard of it?
And let me tell you what. I know you've seen some big things coming out of the WAC, but you just wait till next week. You will see the biggest thing to ever come out of the WAC, son. Don't forget it. What is his name? I don't even know what his name is.
Jeff Hurd.
Jeff Hurd.
He's also, according to his Twitter bio, he's a commissioner of the WAC. He's also a Green Bay Packer and New York Yankee fan.
What's his daytime job?
He's a Mizzou grad.
He has 4 adult kids.
His day job is definitely commissioner of the Western Athletic Conference. I feel like that's a full-time job.
A wife of more than 4 decades. He's been the commissioner of the WAC for a long time, I would assume.
Yeah.
And, in all his years as the commissioner of the WAC, no day is as big as today. Congratulations to the WAC and commissioner. What was his name again?
Jeff Hurd.
Jeff Hurd.
Is that right?
How about this?
Yes.
January 14th, 2014, Michael Qualls put back dunk with 0.2 seconds left. Do you have this clip?
I do have this clip.
This, as an Arkansas fan growing up.
Yeah, I knew. I saw the Arkansas. I was like, okay.
Yeah, because this is one of the most iconic plays the last decade in college basketball, especially after Kentucky lost by 20 to Alabama the other night. Just being able to look down upon Calipari and the Cats is fun. Let's go ahead and roll this clip, Armstrong. This lives in my childhood. You guys at home don't have to care, but that was a fun play. No matter who you are, college football, it's a fun play. Also,
it reminds me of, you've seen Watford. Watford for the win.
Yeah.
Greatest call in college basketball history.
Yeah.
We'll have to play that someday.
Good call. We will. We can play that tomorrow if you want to. We can also play the hockey call tomorrow. I missed that thing. Jeff Grimes. Baylor will release the offensive coordinator. Get to know Jeff Grimes yesterday. We're going to go over that more tomorrow. We're going to go over today, but then, crazy stuff happened.
With the WAC.
Eric Mateo says he also does a really good job with a brisket in the smoker. So apparently, Jeff Grimes is a grill master. Jeff Grimes, Brian Etheridge, and give me Blake Blackmar in a cook-off. Who wins?
I have to go with the owner.
True. He does sign your paychecks.
Yeah.
Baylor University also released a video of the president and the first gent playing a little bit of basketball game. Playing a basketball game. We'll get to that tomorrow. But
yeah, we'll
for
have
today,
to hit that tomorrow.
Celebrity birthdays. All right. Let's start with Dan Schneider.
Since I always do so fantastic in these, I'm going to go with 80.
Dan Schneider, TV producer of iCarly. Remember? Dan Schneider. Everybody hates him.
I don't remember
There was
that.
a whole canceled Dan Schneider thing on Twitter this summer. Dan Schneider's 55 today. Casey Catanzaro, gymnast.
Okay, 32.
31.
Wow.
Yeah. How about LL Cool J? His birthday's today. Rapper.
Yeah, 50.
53.
Okay.
Happy birthday to Jason Bateman. TV
Jason
actor.
Bateman, yes.
Yep.
I'm picturing him, and I'm putting 48.
52.
Really?
Jason Bateman's getting up there.
Okay.
Yeah, they don't live forever.
Yeah, yeah.
They don't live forever. There's Slick Rick's birthday's today.
Slick Rick?
Slick Rick.
72.
56th birthday.
Who's Slick Rick?
Slick Rick, rapper Slick Rick.
Okay, now I don't know.
My mom's a really big Slick Rick fan.
That is good.
In
That's
his
gold.
picture, he has a silver grill and an eye patch, and it's a diamond-studded eye patch.
Sounds like about right.
What do you
for
think
Slick
Slick Rick's net worth is today?
It's probably like higher than you'd think.
I'm gonna go like sub 500K.
You're gonna say that?
Yeah. MC Hammer's broke. You know?
Yeah, but I mean,
no, just
by
judging
his
by
own
the picture
fault.
of him with like the silver, the eye patch, diamond-studded eye patch.
I'd say his net worth is probably in the millions.
Slick Rick. You know
Slick
what?
Rick's.
I didn't want to
net
have to do this today, but I'm going to look up Slick Rick's net worth now that my computer did the factory reset. He's worth $1 million, exactly $1 million.
Boom.
I guess he doesn't have an eye.
I was gonna guess like 5
Maybe
actually, so you were actually closer.
Carl Weathers' birthday is today.
Yeah. Carl Weathers is 58.
Carl Weathers is 73. Actor Carl Weathers.
73.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, he's getting up there.
He doesn't look it.
Nope. And
movie magic, I guess.
Benedict Arnold's our final birthday today. Benedict Arnold, how old is he?
Benedict Arnold is he is going to be about 280.
No! No way.
Really?
Did you look it up?
No, I did not.
The Arnold family, you guys are celebrating. Nobody's forgotten your almost forgotten son. Benedict Arnold, 280 today.
Really?
Like a week after. We had it last week. It was this day in history. Benedict Arnold had won some battle somewhere.
Yeah.
And today, Benedict Arnold turns 280.
Yeah.
Big day for the Arnold family. This day in sports history, Armstrong.
Okay.
The Boston Red Sox manager, Alex Cora, is fired amid baseball's investigation into sign stealing from the Houston Astros.
2020?
2020. Two for the last two.
I can decide between 19 or 20.
Charles Barkley pleads not guilty to an assault charge on this day in sports history.
I don't. 2019.
98.
Dang it.
And the rest of these are just like super weird. John McEnroe wins his first of 3 season-ending ATP Masters Grand Prix tennis titles.
73.
79.
Okay.
Ted Turner
More of an
becomes the
80s guy.
CEO of the Atlanta Braves.
Is he currently the CEO?
Ted Turner? He's founder of CNN. Turner Media? I don't know.
Okay. Like 70s?
76. I'm Drake Toll. That's Armstrong Sims. Loaded day today. Between guests, breaking news, crazy stuff going on at Uptempo. If you missed anything, watch it back over on the YouTube. Listen to it on our podcast on the Spotify or whatever the kids who listen to podcasts through nowadays. I'm Drake Toll. That's Armstrong Sims. Great day. Great Thursday. We'll do it all again tomorrow on Friday. This is Uptempo.
Ideal MRI is a small family business right here in Central Texas. We're open to support you while lowering the cost of healthcare bills. When you need an MRI, ask your doctor for an Ideal MRI. Visit us at idealmri.com or call us at 833-IDEAL-MRI.
Boozers is the wedding ring store and more. If you're ready to get engaged or already married and want to upgrade your wife's ring for a special anniversary, Boozers is the place to go. With the largest selection of premier quality diamond engagement rings and wedding rings in Central Texas. They have 7 cases with over 300 styles of rings from top designers like Natalie Kay. Choose from yellow, white, or rose gold, plus beautiful top quality loose diamonds. With an in-house jewelry, they can also custom make anything you want. Bring in a picture or drawing and let Boozers create your one-of-a-kind pendant or ring. They can even use some of your old gold and diamond jewelry to create something new. At Boozers, you'll find a great selection of quality timepieces, and Boozers is the place for expert watch maintenance and repairs, too. They specialize in expert Rolex watch repair for fine jewelry, watches, custom work, and more. Go to Boozers on Valley Mills and Lake Air Drive in Waco.
Boozers, the wedding ring store and more.
One size fits all. That may be all right for an adjustable belt or cheap sunglasses, but when it comes to your financial needs, no one wants a one-size-fits-all strategy. Cam Heathcott, your Edward Jones financial advisor, knows that his most important goals are yours. That's why he takes the time to understand your needs, knowing you. That's how Edward Jones makes sense of investing. Cam Heathcott, covering Conroe and Houston, 936-756-7717 or cam.heathcott@edwardjones.com. Edward Jones, member SIPC.
Stepping into the boots of a U.S. Army officer can add confidence and leadership skills to your son or daughter's career path. See all the things they can achieve in our boots at GoArmy.com. U.S. Army Waco Recruiting Company, 254-598-8131 or 254-776-1543.
Riverbend Liquor and Wine has their easy-to-access drive-thru open and convenient and clean in-store location on the corner of Lakeshore Drive and North 19th Street in Waco. Riverbend Liquor has the best and most extensive variety of craft beer selections in Waco and Balcones whiskey, including single malt, pot still, baby blue, rye, brimstone, and the all-new lineage in stock. Riverbend Liquor and Wine, family-owned and operated, and a hidden gem in Waco on Lakeshore Drive and 19th Street. And find out more on Facebook and Instagram.